Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PearCast episode 9. We got a very exciting episode to bring you. We're changing up the formula a little bit. We got our news, of course, but after the news segment, we're going to bring you a brand new segment. And Connor's back with us to bring us Connor's Conspiracy Corner.
It's Connor.
Also with me here today, right next to me, sitting to my left.
It's Paige Eckstein. It's me.
And
Hi,
across the
guys.
table, just said it.
Hello, Connor Potts.
And sitting directly across from me.
Future internet celebrity, Chris Bruemmer.
Future
He's
internet
TikTok famous.
celebrity,
No.
current
Christopher to my relatives.
St. Louis celebrity.
But you can call
Right.
me sir.
Anyway, guys, so let's get right into our news segments. Starting off with something we kind of talked about a little bit last week, Connor. I know you weren't here, but it's somewhat of a follow-up, if you guys remember.
What's it going to be?
I listened.
Pigeons spotted wearing small sombrero, raising concerns in Reno, Nevada.
Oh, they had cowboy hats.
They had
They
cowboy
were,
hats on our
glued to
previous
their
episode.
heads or something.
Yeah.
Is it a happy update?
Well, they
No.
hadn't caught
It's
it.
not really an update. The update is they have sombreros on now. Here's a picture of them.
It looks like a little paper boat.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
kinda
a little,
cute.
like,
So,
sailor
guys-
hat. Is it glued to their head still, though?
Definitely.
It is definitely glued to their head. There is
100%.
no other way.
To get a
that it would
sombrero
hold
hat
there.
on a pigeon.
That's so sad.
Listen, you couldn't fix it with a nail that was small enough to not kill the pigeon. I'm just going to go full morbid. It
Even
has
a
to be an
staple.
adhesive.
Yeah.
You couldn't even put a staple
It
on
would
it.
just shoot
What about
through that
just,
bird's
like-
brain.
That's
What about
so
just using
sad.
Scotch tape or something if you're going to
You know how fast birds fly and shit?
Just
There's
don't-
no
Yeah,
way
dude,
that
That's
Scotch
what
tape
I'm
is
saying.
not staying. You gotta glue it. If you want a sombrero hat on a bird, you gotta glue it.
What
don't-
about
How
Scotch
about-
tape all around the head?
Do you
How
see
about
that
we
in the
just
picture?
Don't adhere things to birds' heads
Well,
and let them
I'm
be
saying
birds.
if you're somebody that has to do that.
Well, city manager
Like you made
Sabra
a deal with the
Newby said,
Yeah.
while it's quirky or fun, it's still inhumane.
You should start that line over.
Why?
Like the whole thing.
Why?
Because they were talking.
Okay.
It didn't come out
Yeah,
clear.
and maybe
I'm
give us a little
sorry.
bit more room in the
Yeah.
future.
Maybe don't
sorry.
interrupt, huh?
Damn.
Anyway,
trying to help.
city
I'm
manager
sorry.
Sabra Newby said, while it's quirky or fun, it is still inhumane. She's the one who posted a photo on her Twitter page and said in a statement to ABC Reno affiliate Colo, the birds suffered when this exact thing happened last year in Las Vegas. Those were the
Oh, so
cowboy
it's happening
hats.
again? It's like a
One of them-
reoccurring?
It's a
Yeah.
serial avian hatter.
Yep.
What the hell?
One of them recently died, and we don't want copycats.
Yeah, that's awful.
He's a wait.
Wait.
Listen, I'm not to advocate the serial hattist. Okay, here, but how do we know that the bird's death was directly related to having worn a sombrero?
Well,
That's a fair point.
can you
like, did they
directly-
just find a dead pigeon? Because I
Also-
see dead birds a lot.
Isn't that a weird sentence? One of the birds recently died and we don't want copycats?
Well, no,
We don't
it's
want out there-
actually,
That sounds like somebody was like a bird with a hat, not in my city.
It's actually worded weirdly enough that it sounds like the person who did it died.
Yeah,
And they're
right?
like, we don't want to be.
Or they don't want any other pigeons copying the one that died and also dying.
Now, this is the first
Listen,
known
don't wear hats.
incident of something like this happening in this specific area. But as of right now, Animal Services have asked for the public's help to track down the pigeon and prompted residents to call dispatch if the bird is spotted again.
All right, listen, this is what I know, being a person who works in the arts. This is all contained to one region of the country. This is a trust fund weirdo driving around putting hats on birds.
I mean,
There's
It's
no,
art.
I'll tell you what,
there's
I
not two
certainly
people
don't.
doing this. If
I
it's
don't
two
have the
people, they're
fucking time.
traveling together.
Or it's like
How do
somebody
we know
working
the-
up to be a serial killer
Or the
something.
pigeons are doing it themselves.
That
Fair
could be
point.
too.
Maybe they just really like hats.
Yeah.
This could be an Animaniacs situation.
How do we know that
with-
the pigeons haven't set up their own hat store?
The Wasco,
A haberdasher.
And like the pigeons are
That's
gross.
true. They could be buying
They hang
them.
out in like sewers probably.
True.
So
We need to search the sewers for pigeon hat
Soliciting
stores.
business.
the
ma'am, you look real good in a sombrero.
the Washoe County Regional Animal Service, and they are they said in a statement that while their department focuses on the well-being of domestic animals in our region, we are monitoring the current situation with the recent report of a hat on a local pigeon. They went on to say, Washoe County Regional Animal Services finds this practice of affixing any object on wild birds disturbing, inhumane, and strongly discourages this type of behavior.
what about when they tag the birds?
Yeah, I was.
Like paint them?
That's not inhumane. They put a little thing around their leg.
I'm just saying their little phrase affixing anything.
That's true. That's a fair point.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They encourage you to call, basically, if you see any
Pigeon with a
suspicious
hat.
behavior.
Yeah.
All right. So again, what we haven't gotten from any of these stories is how many of these things are actually happening.
It sounds like just one in this case.
And same in the cowboy hat case,
pigeon
though.
is spotted.
Same when we did the cowboy story, though. The cowboy hat case sounded like there was one instance of one pigeon and one cowboy hat.
I'm pretty sure that in all of these places, it is perfectly legal to just go shoot these birds out of the sky.
But you can't put hats on
But you can't put hats on them.
Yep.
Which, don't get me wrong, there's something more fucked up about putting it like.
Well,
a
but
hat
I
on
get
a
what
bird
you're
and
saying.
releasing
Like,
it.
it's kind of like the idea, like, people freak out sometimes about, like, things happening to animals, but then are fine with other things happening to animals.
Much
more
worse things.
fucked up things happening
Like
I think
to
it
animals.
has to do with, like, one is prolonging suffering and one is killing it instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like
I think it's a difference.
I know that I could just die of embarrassment if I was wearing that hat.
We
right,
don't
guys?
know. We don't know that those sombreros aren't like helping the pigeons get laid more.
Maybe that pigeon ain't got
Increased
no skull
confidence?
under there.
Yeah,
Like that, it's just banging too much. That's the problem. Like that cat that had to get put on like an
Oh,
IV.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that?
I left all my electrolytes with so many other cats that
You should have some Brondo.
But for real, like in every city, it's legal to put out nail strips that if pigeons land on, it gives them infections
yeah.
that kill them
Yeah.
slowly.
Like, why is that fine?
Yeah.
Like, putting hats on them.
I'm
is
not
it?
saying it should be encouraged to put hats on pigeons.
You're saying that we should revisit other things we
Yes.
allow to happen to pigeons?
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
saying
understand that.
let's maybe look at the things we consider to be fine.
Yeah, that's
you know.
fair. That's a fair point.
and that's pretty reasonable.
Treat your pigeons better, people.
Treat your pigeons well.
Anyway, we got a bunch of
Dun-dun-dun.
videos, which is going to be kind of exciting. For,
Ooh, I get excited. I like the
Let's
motion
do it.
pictures.
So I'll read this headline, and then lots of these videos can just tell the story for me, which I like. Let me get it loaded before I. All right, here we go. So the headline is, hoverboarding dentist found guilty of quote unlawful dental acts.
Wait.
So I got a news story
Wait.
here. Let me get it.
Is he hoverboarding while practicing dental
I
medicine?
got a great video to play for you. Hold on one
so
second.
the answer isn't
It's
no.
going to be so much worse. He's just going to
The
be
answer
holding a toddler,
certainly
like
isn't
doing a
no.
filling while.
Well,
Oh, he's at least.
All right, go ahead and throw this up on the screen.
oh no.
Nerving video. Dentist Seth Lucart extracting a patient's tooth while riding
He is
a
on a hoverboard.
Then removing his gloves and seemingly celebrating. The patient, Veronica Wilhelm, was sedated during the operation.
What's wrong with celebrating
telling a
doing
court
something
on Wednesday
successful,
that
though?
she didn't know he was on a hoverboard or that the procedure was being filmed.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's the problem.
That's
I
like
think.
super illegal.
Watch him.
No.
He just zips right away.
No. I mean, that's so unprofessional.
According to court
Yeah.
documents, Lucart texted the video to several people.
Jesus
in
Christ.
one instance, joking that performing oral surgery while on a hoverboard was a new standard of care. His
Are
own
you
lawyer,
fucking
Paul
kidding me?
Stockler, apologizing for his client in court.
It's unacceptable, and you can be assured that when I agreed to represent him, I got in his face and told him what I thought about him for doing this.
Lucart
Holy
has pleaded not
shit.
Why
guilty
is he
to
even-
all the charges,
No,
which include
what?
unlawful dental acts, medical assistance fraud, engaging in a scheme to defraud Medicaid, and theft.
Okay.
Many of the things
There's
they
other things
charged
going
he
on
did
then
not
here.
do and
Yeah.
he's not guilty of. So best case scenario is he'll be found
So that's
guilty
what the
of
lawyer's
a
trying to
couple
get
of
him
the
off
43
on, I
counts.
44
serve a
counts?
sentence, maybe
Holy
on ankle monitor
shit.
and successfully be able to resume.
Well, so many of those have to be like
practicing
HIPAA.
He can still ride a
Like, you
hoverboard
can't-
with an ankle
Addressing her
monitor.
Anyway,
dentist
that's
witness
basically it.
stand.
It doesn't
He
inhibit
was
his.
outrageous,
Here's her last statement.
narcissistic, and crazy.
Okay,
All right,
that's it.
listen, I did not expect to wind up
Narcissistic.
almost being on the dentist side by the end of the story, but there should be like 3 counts of something.
Right.
43
Yeah.
sounds.
That's
Well,
a
it
lot
sounds
of
like-
counts.
Theft.
Yeah. Defrauding Medicaid seems like.
Well, it sounds like maybe there's a possibility that other things are going on that we don't know
Yeah.
about. Like, did she need to have that done? Did he?
No, he knocked her out in
What
an
did- what did-
alley.
wait,
Did he charge her?
And then
other
dragged her
things?
Did he
in.
charge Medicaid for the hoverboard?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like in the paperwork is like a medical device. Like,
yeah, it is.
Maybe he added it to
medical
her bill.
hoverboard.
yeah.
But like, I love how the news anchor was like, and he looks to be celebrating. Like, what a dick! He did a job and was proud of it.
I mean,
Ugh,
honestly, I would
asshole.
celebrate if I was able to pull a tooth on a hoverboard. Are you serious?
Listen,
I'd celebrate if I
Doctors
could ride one of
celebrate
those.
after, not on hoverboard. Regular good ass doctors celebrate after doing successful.
Just imagine him
procedures.
slipping
Yeah.
with some tool in his hand
Yeah.
and driving it through that woman's face.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So here are my thoughts.
Electric chair.
Obviously,
I think that might be too good for him.
Drawn and quartered.
Death by 1,000 cuts. No, I think that it's like you have medical negligence, right?
Definitely.
He should not be allowed to practice.
And then you
any
have
longer.
whatever HIPAA violations.
Yeah.
And then as long as there's no other information that comes to light that we haven't seen yet, I feel like that's kind of it for legitimate stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know what the 43
because she
charges
didn't have like adverse effects at all herself.
Yeah.
So the idea that any kind of malpractice stuff doesn't
Wait,
really
I got a
seem-
little more information.
Oh shit.
Perhaps he.
no.
I'm still thinking he knocked her out and
Well,
stole
here's
the
where the
tooth.
Medicare fraud
Oh,
comes
And
in.
that's
shit,
what
yeah.
the theft.
Here's where
the extra
the
charges.
fraud comes from. Prosecutor said he sedated patients needlessly, then billed taxpayers $10,000 for the procedures.
And so that's super dangerous.
Oh, so that's not just her.
Yeah.
No.
Why is that not in the video? Like,
Right?
they were like, he is a douche.
Yeah.
It's like, but
That's
What
super
about the real
dangerous,
crimes?
too. You can't just be putting people under willy-nilly like.
No,
like,
you
that's
can
not
die from
good.
sedation.
Yeah.
100%.
Needlessly.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so that
okay.
adds up.
Yeah. I mean, it makes...
Who determines if it's needless or not?
I
Because some
thought
people
that
request
video that
Yeah.
was with the
Specifically?
article would have mentioned something that I thought was
You
as
think they
crucial
would
as
have.
that.
That seems to be actually probably the worst crime.
And that's all the more really it's on here. The rest of it is from
That
the
explains
video.
43 counts, then. You
Yep.
know? And that explains the theft and all of those other
Medicaid
things.
fraud. Yeah.
Do you think he has a friend who works at that station? They were trying to like spin it as positively
Maybe.
as possible. Because like,
Yeah.
why do like
Yeah.
an expose style story and leave out the thousands and thousands of dollars in fraud?
Everything else? Yeah.
My friend's a douchebag, but the lady was fine.
Look at his sweet.
And he can ride a
hoverboard.
hoverboard, yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna break up these videos with my non-video articles, and we're gonna move on from one cruel thing to a bird to another type of cruel thing.
Well,
to
I think
another,
first we
to
should.
another
One of
fowl.
us should take out another one's tooth on a hoverboard.
Yeah.
We don't have that though, so we'll
You know what
stand
we
on
should
two
do?
soccer balls.
You know what we should do though? We'll get a hoverboard and we'll tie some like floss to my teeth, and then you just go and just rip that fucker out of there. Those
Yep.
hoverboards can go
Boom.
fast.
But you have your adult teeth.
Yeah, I don't need them.
We have to
though.
go find a child.
My front two are fake.
Trip those out.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a
Anyway,
good point.
man killed by blade wielding rooster during a legal cockfight.
During a legal or an illegal?
There's no
Illegal. Did I
video?
say illegal. Illegal.
There are
cockfight.
no
Okay.
legal.
I have no video
cockfights.
for this one.
Not a picture of it.
So it's
That's amazing.
but it's amazing, but it's not amazing because the reason that the rooster had razors in the first place is because they were cruelly affixed to his wings.
Yeah, no, I feel bad about that, but I don't feel bad at all about the guy that got
Exactly. He
murdered
died.
because of it. Fuck that guy.
Um,
Fuck people that are involved in illegal
was
cockfighting.
in-
You're all assholes.
Or even if you're in a legal sport that
Even
results
legal
in
cockfighting?
animal, no, well, bullfighting is,
thing.
legal and
Bullfighting,
it's the most
fucked up.
inhumane.
Yeah.
yeah.
bullfighting is
Anytime I
super
hear about
fucked up.
someone getting
I-
bored, I'm just like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I went to a bullfight when I
Oh
was
yeah,
in Spain.
yeah. I mean,
It's
hell, I'd check it out
fucked.
too.
It was
but-
It's
fucked
fucked.
up,
People
but-
don't realize they stab the bulls
If I was,
at
you know,
the
when
end.
in
Yeah,
Rome.
but I gotta say, it was pretty interesting to
literally-
see live. It is very fucked up, but it is pretty interesting
No, I mean,
to like
when in Rome,
experience it
dude.
live.
I would 100%.
One
check
of
it out.
them
It's
did.
fucked up,
One
but
of
I'd
them
check it out.
did survive though.
Oh
And-
yeah.
yeah, and they like basically just take them out and they don't kill them right there on the spot. But the other ones, they are literally just slitting their
Yep.
throats
Yep.
in front of
It's
everybody.
brutal.
After stabbing them
No,
with
fuck
like
yeah,
little
this
spears.
rooster-
Spears, barbed spears that
Yeah.
hang out of their bodies.
Yeah.
So this,
And they have their like testicles all tied up to piss them off
Yep.
and
Yep.
stuff.
this took place in India, where cockfighting, I believe, was recently made illegal. So the birds have razor blades tied to their limbs, and they're placed in the ring where you fight.
That's wild.
Cock
That's so
fight.
fucked up.
When an organizer was placing the rooster into the ring, it struggled free and kicked out, fatally wounding 55-year-old Venkateswara Rao in the stomach.
You should look up a phonetic
That's
pronunciation.
pretty good.
Venkateswara.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, pretty good.
Just say this guy.
Listen, we want to do this man justice.
Oh, I'm sorry. The
Pronounce his
Indian
name.
Supreme Court banned cockfights as part of the 1960 Prevention
Okay.
of Cruelty to Animals. Not recently.
It's been illegal for a long time.
It's been illegal for a long time.
You
That
know,
was my mistake.
Recently, by the standards of ghosts.
Yeah. He was the only death reported, but however, there was several dozen other injuries reported.
Good.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
everyone
This sounds
involved
like,
in cockfighting. I
something
hope this
from a-
happens constantly.
Yeah,
It's crazy when you strap razor blades to wild animals. It's people get hurt.
It's like something from a Coen Brothers movie or
Yeah.
something to a certain extent. Like you could just imagine this bird's just like flying around slashing the faces of people.
Yeah.
It should be made into a Wes Anderson stop motion film. Much like the Fantastic
Yeah.
Mr. Fox.
Good for
The
that
cantankerous
rooster.
Mr. Cock.
That's perfect.
This video might take me a second to get pulled up here. No, it won't. Paige just saw it, I think, too. Chris actually is familiar with this, I know, going in. Let me read the headline. Furries stop assault of a woman on San Jose streets.
Nice.
All right.
So I
I
have a
gleaned a
video
little bit about this.
To introduce
All
this
right.
topic.
I haven't seen the video though.
Should we play it?
Well, it's the audio's not working. Oh, I have it muted, which makes sense. Videos don't make sound when you have it muted. All right. Hold on. Can't.
The anticipation's killing me, guys. Yeah, please full screen.
Shit.
Well, some video of a bizarre scene on the streets of San Jose. Several people who'd been attending FurCon Friday night came to the aid of a screaming woman inside of a car. One man dressed as a pink dinosaur, another as a tiger, and several more helped pull a man out of the car who'd been assaulting a woman. They then sat on him and held him for police. Suspect arrested for domestic violence.
He's into it. That guy
He's
loves
like,
it.
oh no.
You can see that little smile on his face.
So, one of my favorite parts about this story is the local news anchor's delivery of it.
Yeah.
He has no fucking idea what a furry is.
Well-
He's trying really hard not to laugh.
He's giggling. He says FurCon and doesn't
smirking at the end.
elaborate.
he just starts it with, well.
So anyway, guys, I know that furries, they get a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say it's well-deserved. Some might say that they're creepy.
Did you see that movie, Cats?
But you know what? No, but I want to.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yep.
This just goes to prove sometimes furries are the hero we need, but not the heroes we deserve.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
True.
Look, you can
That's awesome. I'm glad they stepped in.
you
and
can
did
do whatever
something.
you want to gratify yourself sexually.
Yeah.
Is
long
it
as it
always
doesn't-
sexual with furries?
Probably, man.
Like mostly.
Now, I've heard
Are there a lot of? Is it an artistic choice? Is it a artistic?
They find the animal body soothing.
Well, that's what I was going to lead into next. Is I've heard a lot of stories about like sexual animal abuse with furries,
Okay.
which happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
These
Yeah.
furries, the only thing they abused was a criminal. So
Yeah,
I'm,
that was awesome.
on that day.
They looked ridiculous.
Furries
They didn't
win.
care. They went out. They put themselves in danger, and they saved a woman. That's
All right,
awesome.
listen. I'm going to say that is awesome. I'm going to maybe say something a little controversial, and I want to apologize to all our furry fans out there.
Okay.
I don't think we have one.
Listen,
that's
I
the
don't-
thing, though. You never really know.
maybe it's just the Puritan in me. We all know that I'm a very conservative
Yes.
Republican,
Yes.
right? And everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a kink, right, regardless of it, if you're wearing a $1,500 suit, if whatever you're doing, if it takes you $1,500 to come, it's what's going on? What happened? What happened to you? It's fine that you do it, but like
that's a lot of money.
that's
to
a lot
come.
of money to have to invest in order to be able to get off, which maybe says
Yeah.
you're compensating for something. You have some issue. Something's going on. I'm
Something's
not
up.
trying to judge negatively. I'm just saying, there's a lot of free kinks.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of kinks that don't cost anything.
And a lot of them are on the internet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Also, you can just go get a animal onesie from Target for like
Yeah,
20
fuck
bucks.
yeah.
But a
Which one did you
kink that
buy?
costs thousands of
the
dollars
alligator.
potentially and involves travel and pretending
Yep.
you're a different species and disassociating entirely, not just from your personality, but from your entire species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
How do we know they weren't actually superheroes, though?
that's possible.
True.
That's possible.
That's a really good point.
We have
Fur Force 5.
we have 3 videos left. So I'm gonna play. Wait, do we have 2 or 3? One. Do we have 3 videos left? We have a lot of videos left. So I'm gonna play another one before I get into another article. We'll move on to another species.
All
Paige,
right.
you just saw
I
it.
didn't. I only read the first 2 words.
Bloodthirsty squirrel leaves 2 hospitalized. Neighbors hiding out during daytime.
Damn.
What the fuck?
I'm going to have to excuse myself. This one hits a little too close to home, guys.
What the fuck happened?
Let me.
Where is this?
A rabid
this?
squirrel.
This takes place in
Shit.
Houston, Texas. Everybody's favorite Texas.
Not
Everybody's
my favorite Texas.
What's your favorite Texas?
West,
Marathon?
West Texas. I do love Marathon.
Oh my god.
Wait, can you restart that?
Wait.
real fast?
Hold on.
Oh, let me restart
Please,
it. Let
they
me
have
restart
a existing history with this squirrel.
Listen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It has rabies.
Look.
Holy shit. God damn.
It's not really true.
Just go kill all the squirrels, right?
Listen, I'm going to tell you just before we get into everything else, right? It is known in construction. Squirrels are a known quantity, and they have the most predictable behavior, basically, of any animal you share space with, other than rabbits. Like that, you can make a squirrel disappear pretty easy. It's not like
I mean, you can make men disappear pretty easily. So why can't you?
Yeah.
Make
If
a
I were
squirrel
that
disappear
lady
pretty
when I
easy?
threw it to the ground, I would have for real stomped the shit out of that
Yeah,
squirrel.
I kind of feel like this
Like-
lady maybe pissed off the animal control people at some point. Like, I don't know how, but
Yeah.
they charge you a lot of money to just come drop off traps and sit in their truck and wait.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way a company wouldn't be like, yes, we will charge you $400 a day for a guy.
We can't do
Especially
it.
if it's biting people. They should be
Yeah.
concerned about rabies or other diseases.
Although,
That's
in all
alarming.
fairness, this is Texas.
They just don't care.
I spend as our regular followers know, I spend a lot of time in Texas, and there is a kind of well, just deal with it. It's your yard.
Yeah.
Get a gun.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Sounds
like how
your problem.
I like how they describe a squirrel as imposing. When would you ever hear that?
I also like how the when they roll into the footage on the story, it starts off with a scream.
With the human scream.
Yeah.
like a murderous scream.
It's quite dramatic.
And it also, okay, here's a big telling thing, is that it starts off and they're like, at first the squirrel was like our friend.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you've been feeding this
You've been hanging
crazy
out with
squirrel.
this wild animal.
And now it's like when you go out and you don't have food and you're in basically a desert that's been created into
Yeah.
suburbia, and the squirrel's like, you don't leave your garbage accessible and I'm dying of starvation. It's eating you because you're not giving it treats anymore.
Yep.
Like these people seem to have completely
I get
like,
it.
oh look, we're like Snow White. We have a squirrel friend. You know?
Now they're like, it bites me.
Yeah.
Ah! I love it.
I feel sorry for everybody involved in this,
Including the squirrel.
including the squirrel.
Did you remember, and the article didn't mention this, I don't think, or the video, but did you remember from the headline it said, bloodthirsty squirrel leaves 2 hospitalized?
Oh, yeah. What happened? Are they okay?
It doesn't
Is it rape? It might be
I wonder if
rabies.
that woman just
No.
went to the hospital after she got bit
What
up.
I'm saying is,
Yeah.
whoever it bit, like it's
It bit that
protocol.
woman
You,
twice.
if you get bit by,
She went to the hospital twice for it.
a non-domestic animal, you're supposed to get
Ooh.
Smacking the table. Holy shit.
You're supposed to get rabies
Yeah.
test,
Booster or
at
something.
least a
yeah.
test because they
Oh,
can give
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust any animal.
So that's
with bites.
probably what it was. Like if you get bit by a squirrel, you definitely need to. That's like if a possum like bit your face. Like the first thing
Yeah.
you're doing is going to the doctor.
Yeah, you should.
Side note, Dan kept me from trying to pet a possum once.
There was a okay. Let me tell this story. Let me tell this story because I feel like you're gonna skew it with rose-colored glasses.
I'm gonna try and make myself sound better.
So we're driving along, right? We definitely hadn't smoked any weed or anything like that, and we're drive past like a school or some shit, and there's a possum climbing a fence, and Chris is like, "Damn, there's a possum climbing the fence." And then he pulls into the school and parks, and he's like, "I'm gonna go poke it." And he gets out of the car, and I'm like, "Chris, what the fuck are you doing? Don't poke the possum!" And he gets really close to it, and he's like, I'm not gonna post.
well, here's what happened. I took it as a sign because this, in my defense,
Do you feel like Snow White a little bit? Is that what's going on? Do you have a
this
moment?
this was the cutest possum I'd ever seen. It's part of what caught my attention. Dan, back me up.
It was you know how like American possums are a lot uglier than European possums.
It was like
a
cute little-
European possum.
It was like a cute little Welsh possum that was like, "Oi, friend, oi, come on over,
Come
mate."
on over.
And so I went over.
Came from across the river.
And like it didn't run, and I was like, "This is a sign. This possum wants
this
to be my
possum
friend."
wants me.
Definitely.
And like I got Dan the whole time as I'm approaching it is like, "Get in the car. stop doing this. It's weird, and you're gonna get bit. And then right as I'm reaching for it, I'm like, he's right. This is a bad idea.
Yep.
This is a really bad. Like
I'm
I
glad
thought,
that
I was
hit
like,
you.
if my dad was here, he would just shake his head in shame at my behavior. It's like he wouldn't be mad. He would just be disappointed.
Yep.
And so Dan maybe saved me from a rabies booster.
There you go.
From a bunch of shots in the stomach, because isn't that what they do for
Yeah,
rabies?
it's bad.
It's like
It's bad. They're like really giant shots.
yeah.
Moving on to our next article. This is not going to be a video. We got 2 videos left after this, though. Quote, penis man,
Nice.
What?
graffiti artist arrested by 25 heavily armed SWAT officers.
Okay, well, I feel like there's more to the story than just graffiti. If you've got 25 SWAT officers on you.
Yeah.
This is a strike.
Penis Man?
25 years in the
So,
making.
this is a accused penis man, graffiti tagger Dustin Schromer.
What does penis
Is
man
he-
mean?
is he
that
tagging
his tag?
penis?
That's his tag. No, his
Let
tag
me,
is
yeah, I'll bring
penis
it up. Let me bring up the
man.
picture. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Let me bring up this picture to help clarify.
Oh,
Here's
that's
the
right. It
picture.
is.
Yeah, this is the guy's tag. It's penis man.
Okay.
This is the tag he's going around. He's going around tagging this, and his name is Dustin Schromer. He's the creator of this tag. He announced on Facebook on Saturday morning. This is this past Saturday. This was fucking yesterday.
Oh, shit. Breaking news.
That 25 heavily armed SWAT officers had arrested him on January 23rd at his Phoenix condo. Tempe police confirmed on Saturday afternoon they had arrested Schromer at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. Phoenix New Times published an article just before 5 p.m. on Thursday about the investigation, which police had launched after numerous incidents of a tagger scrawling "penis man"
Okay.
across public
Alright.
and private buildings and other objects since late November. The taggings had received nationwide attention on social media and news sites, including ABC 15 News and the New Times.
I feel like SWAT has more important things to
Yeah.
do with
Well,
than
they
a
should.
fucking-
Nationwide.
So the SWAT does not dispute that they had 25 men. They also don't confirm that they had 25 men arrest him. I don't know why this tagging would be so detrimental. It doesn't go on the article to say
You just don't understand.
anything about the damages or how much it's like caused. And
You
What
just
happened
don't
is
understand.
There was a public official who kept seeing graffiti, and the one thing that rose above all the other graffiti that blended together was the name Penis Man.
The penis is the most offensive
Word
thing in the
ever.
world.
Somebody on a city level was like, "We're gonna get this Penis Man."
in a statement to the media, Tempe
besmirching our
police
city.
said that they believed he is, quote, responsible for multiple graffiti incidents of Penis Man throughout the city of Tempe across the Arizona State University as well. The statement continues. Dustin was booked Dustin was booked into the Tempe City Jail on 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage. Wait. 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage, and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the first degree.
Is there something in his tag that says, okay, this time he was real aggravated when he did it?
Yeah, what does
And these
that
other
mean?
times-
It was in italic and bold.
Yeah.
How does it become aggravated? Did he attack someone while he
Yeah.
was doing it? Was he like punching someone in the face
Or spraying
while
them?
he spraying
Yeah.
it? He graffitied actual people.
Yeah.
He didn't respond to a request for comment, but on this is the unmodded neighborhood group. It's spelled weird. Neighborhood group on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. Schromer addressed the arrest and said, I just spent the last 24 hours in the Tempe and Phoenix police custody after spraying Penis Man. They raided my condo and vehicle and swarmed my entire complex in West Phoenix with 25 heavily armed SWAT officers and pointed a silenced assault rifle at my face. Let me show
Silenced?
you.
That still seems incredibly
I don't
excessive.
buy it. Here's a picture
That
of the man
guy's
they
a
arrested.
fucking liar.
This is the guy.
That dude is a fucking
You guys
liar.
don't believe him?
No. Do you think there's a rat tail back there too?
No.
So describe him a little bit.
that is.
He's a fucking
12
liar.
rat tails. He has
He
his.
looks like white trash Jesus.
He's hairy.
yeah.
He's certainly hairy.
like if you need an Appalachian Jesus, it's this
Although, in
man.
all fairness, he could just be a hipster that was caught at 3 a.m. not expecting to be like
Oh, that's
arrested for the next
he's got
day.
a fucking mullet.
I don't know. I think hipsters are a
I
little
don't
bit
know
more
if that's
clean.
really a mullet.
Chris
I think
has
that
got a
might just
good
be
point
long hair
because
that's pulled behind his ears.
one of my favorite paintings on our dumpster that I've ever seen was vagina. Just
Written in a
painted
really
elegantly.
Vagina girl?
No,
No,
just
it's
a
just
vagina. And
but
it
it
was
was in like this beautiful cursive
and it was
script,
painted
and
like
it was,
super elegantly.
it was really pretty.
I don't think he he's a hipster because while hipsters may look like that, they usually look like cleaner versions of that nowadays.
He's pretty fucking dirty.
He looked dirty.
That guy.
Now I don't buy the 25 SWAT store. I think he's trying to be like, I'm very bad.
I don't think.
The SWAT teams don't. Yeah,
you don't have silencers. I don't think.
Well, he went on to say,
if they do, they deal with way more important shit than fucking graffiti.
They don't need to be. This isn't like
as a blanket statement.
SEAL Team 6.
True. I mean,
they might have. Silencers.
I agree with Chris though. Chris is doubting it a little bit. I don't know either because the police have done some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah, but I still don't think SWAT teams have access to silencers.
I think they have whatever they want. Like.
Yeah.
Come on, we're in
They
St.
get
Louis.
like used military
We've seen
equipment.
armed police actions here when they want to. They have tanks and shit for some reason. Basically,
that's a really good point.
They have like millets, and that's not even the SWAT team. That's just like dudes named Darren who make like $38,000 a year, get to drive tanks whenever people are sufficiently rowdy.
That's fair.
He went on to say in the Facebook post that anyone with any doubt who the bad guys are here, be certain it is the city of Tempe, city of Phoenix, and the police forces valley-wide. There's no excuse for pointing an AR-15 in the face of a non-violent offender. I agree with that as a blanket statement.
I don't know that
if they actually did it. If they actually did it, they
100%.
They overreacted big time.
He sounds like a dickbag shitty graffiti artist that got upset when he got caught.
Yeah.
And
they pushed him down the ground. They stood on his neck and they said, "Take this penis, man."
Paige has had a lot of run-in with security or graffiti artists, haven't you?
This might be controversial.
That's
Every graffiti artist I've met in St. Louis is a whiny ass little bitch kid that's way too fucking old to be doing this shit and being like, I'm such a badass. And it's like, no, you're a shitty fucking artist. You're like 50. You've got a million kids you ignore, and you're not a badass.
Oh man, that sounds so cool.
Artists. I hate graffiti artists.
I want to be one of those guys.
No, you don't.
They're cunts and they
Unless
ruin
you're
cool abandoned
Banksy,
buildings.
like the only cool graffiti artist in the entire world, then it's not worth it.
I was going to say, Penis Man's picture with the gloves dressed in black and the thing. It's the other reason I think he might be a hipster is because that seems so much like he's trying to be dumb Banksy.
Yeah.
That
That's
like
what it all
might,
is.
but what I'm saying is his might actually be somewhat self-aware. Because his tag is Penis Man.
I don't know.
Normally I don't.
It's so dumb that it might actually be self-aware. I'm not saying it's cool to write Penis Man on stuff.
I'm gonna make another controversial statement. I don't think graffiti artists are very fucking smart. It's constantly just like, it's anti-establishment. You don't get it. And it's like, no, it's bad shit art and you suck.
I get it. I feel the same way about pediatricians, right, guys?
Exactly.
Right, everybody here?
You're not an
Fuck
artist.
pediatricians. You're not an artist. Anyway, we're going to move on to our last two videos, and I'm going to read this headline and then play it. Man tells police he mixed his mom's ashes with drugs.
Nice.
It was a mix-up.
So let me get this.
Why? Why?
Just wait till you see the guy.
Where does this happen?
And what are
though?
the police
Milwaukee.
going to do about
Is
it?
the answer going to be meth?
Of course the answer's going to be that. Hold on.
That's the guy.
Let me start I don't have the sound on me.
That's stupid. Oh.
Shaw County Metro Drug Unit staged a drug sting operation. According to the criminal complaint, twice last week, investigators sent an informant here to the apartment that they shared, and that informant was able to buy marijuana.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Police returned and searched the apartment. They say they found nearly 70 grams of
They're
pot
trying to
and
make
a small
rolling
amount
joints.
of Molly,
70 grams,
along
which is
with
like 2
bongs
ounces.
and a drug scale.
Wait, a small
But
amount of what?
that's when it got weird.
Molly.
According to the complaint,
Along
Schrader
with
tried to explain the,
bongs
quote,
and a
large
drug
amount of
scale.
undeveloped
Don't
powder
ever come in
and
my
vegetable
apartment.
material located in the apartment, saying he, quote, mixes these substances for a variety of reasons.
What are the
Schrader
variety of
continued that his mom died a little over a year ago, and according to the complaint, quote, Schrader indicates he took some of her Austin Schrader and his 21-year-old girlfriend, Caitlin Geiger.
Okay.
After getting
Well,
a tip, the Waukesha
sorry about that.
for a variety of reasons. Schrader continued that his mom died a little over a year ago.
What kind of
and
weird
according to
padded
the
suit is he
complaint,
wearing
quote,
in that photo?
Schrader indicates he took some of her ashes and mixed them with a variety of substances, some of which he ultimately ingested. The complaint doesn't indicate if he mixed the cremated remains in any of the drugs he's accused of selling.
That's it.
What
If he
the
mixed the
fuck?
cremated remains in any of the drugs he was selling, can you imagine you go to your drug dealer's house, you get a bag, and then you're like, what the fuck? There's like some ashes in here or something. My bud's covered in ashes, and you're like, hey man, you call him up, and you get him on the phone, and he's like, oh yeah, man, I thought like we could just mix some of my mom's dead ashes in there and you get super baked.
No, here's what he would have said: is he would have been first off before I say what he really thinks, because this guy obviously this is his version of spreading somebody's ashes in, over the ocean, or something. Is he? And I trust that he knows that his mom probably, if his mom was living in this apartment with him and his girlfriend who sold Molly and weed, she'd probably be like, whatever, throw me in the trash. I'm
Smoke
dead.
me when I'm dead.
Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my next point, which is this is clearly like in How High.
Yeah.
When they have the plant and the guy comes back to life when they smoke the plant that his ashes were in. This was a even less baked like version of that.
Quarter baked.
This was a 10% baked. Like if this was a cake, it wouldn't be warm yet. You could touch the batter out of the oven and it wouldn't burn you. But this was an idiot's well-intended attempt to give his mom like a bon
This is
voyage.
your send-off, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking rip you
like
out
he
of the
probably
bong.
only put it in like he knew him and his mom, like Carl would
Yeah.
come over and talk to his mom about like soccer or something, and he was like, oh, Carl was down with my mom, he gets a little bit of mom.
Listen, I'm not
You know,
gonna say if I've ever
Jimmy gets a little bit of mom. I'm gonna
I'm not
smoke a lot of mom.
gonna say if I've ever smoked pot with my mom, but I think that my mom would be so proud if I smoked her ashes. And on top of that, I think my mom would have some dank ashes.
Well, here's the thing though, I happen to know
Interesting.
that your mom wants us to have a banquet and eat her cannibalistically after her death. It's in her will.
Okay.
Chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Like that South Park episode?
It's like a
Just very much like the super vague for a variety of reasons. And it's like, what are those reasons?
it helps with minor joint inflammation.
Sometimes like I get headaches and Tylenol's literal poison.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna eat my mom's ashes. But
Oh, that's so fucked.
the variety of reasons sounds like this guy is very dude-like when he was giving his interview to the cops. Like they're like, "Why would you do this?" And he's like, variety of reasons.
Whatever, man.
So one of his eyes was like half closed.
Yeah.
He was pulling a full Nicholson.
Yep.
Did you know? Like,
Honestly, I think for what he was actually charged with is kind of bullshit.
What was he actually charged with?
He was charged with the pot, 70 grams of pot, which
Yeah.
isn't. I mean, it's a lot.
What
It would
state was
last-
it
it's
in
probably
again?
just
Florida, I
over.
think.
No,
Where
it's
was it?
that was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Which means you know what
Wisconsin,
they
that
probably
fucking
threw. I'm pretty
bullshit
sure they
state.
have a very similar in Milwaukee to what we have here. So I think it's like
Decriminalized.
Well, I think there's a line where it's like under an ounce or something, nobody cares, and then
Yeah.
above that, you're a drug dealer.
I'll
and
tell
then
you
Yeah.
what
above that,
Wisconsin
too.
does have is some bullshit ass backwards fucking alcohol laws. Can't buy it anywhere after like 9 p.m.
Damn.
But you can drive right across the border to Illinois and get it as late as you want, pretty much.
Yep. What did he get charged with, though?
He got charged for the weed and I believe the Molly, which both
Fair.
I don't really give a shit about either.
What about the Percocet, Molly Percocet?
Molly Percocet? Molly Percocet.
Is it going to be something like mishandling remains or something like
No,
that?
I mean you can do whatever the fuck you want with somebody's ashes. You can bathe in them. You can
No, you can.
inject them in
No,
your
once
bloodstream.
they're ashes, I think you can.
You can
kinda
do whatever you
it's-
want once
it's
they're
no
ashes.
longer.
Yes, you
it's
can.
no
No,
longer.
you can't
Yes, you can.
spread
It's
them
not a
in public
corpse.
areas or wherever you want.
But
You
that's
can't
a
do
different law.
whatever
That's
you
a
want with
different
ashes.
law.
But
That's
what I think Dan's saying, you are totally within your legal right to eat your mom's ashes if you.
yes, 100 or smoke them or put them up your butt or
Yeah, why
fucking
wouldn't you
drink
be
'em.
able? Why wouldn't you be able?
You
to?
But
probably
you can't,
cannot give them to other
if your
people.
mother dies in front of you, you can't take her finger and like put it in your butthole. 'Cause that's decimation of a corpse. But if you get it burned and
Desecration.
Desecration.
It's decimated because you didn't stop with that finger. You just kept feeding mom up
Yep.
there.
Oh, you meant your corpse is decimated. Is that what you meant?
No, you get what I'm trying to say, right? You can't
Yeah.
fuck with a corpse, but you can. I think you can do almost whatever you want with ashes. The reason you can't scatter them in like national parks is because of like park reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Park creations.
But what was he charged with?
The
pot
weed,
and the
the
Molly,
weed and the
and
Molly.
that's it?
Yeah.
Cannibalism.
They arrested the couple after an informant was able to buy
Pot.
marijuana from him, and then
Yeah.
they raided him. Pot's legal in
I
Wisconsin.
imagine he
illegal
could get
in
charged with something
Wisconsin.
if he was trying to give consumable things with ashes on it to other people unbeknownst. Like I could see that being.
I think that's
Oh
just
yeah,
the
I'd
thing
be
they.
fucking pissed if I got ashes. But
Yeah, fuck
they
yeah.
also have no proof that he did that. They
Yeah.
just suspected it. Which honestly,
Well, he told them that he did.
Guys,
though,
has
didn't
anybody
he?
at this table?
I think what happened is the informant goes in and he's like, "Yeah, I like smoked my mom's ashes." And whose friend are you? How do I know you did it? But everybody at this table, what?
Has anybody at this table ever bought or smoked marijuana?
Yes.
No.
Never.
No,
Yeah,
not all the time.
No. So, would you notice if your pot was covered in human remain ashes?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, honestly, if there was just a
little sprinkle?
some ashes on there,
Yeah.
I would just be like, whatever. It was like laying in a pot drawer on a tray. But if there was like
Pot drawer.
bone fragments,
Or is
then I think I'd
significant amount of
notice it.
ash.
Oh, look, there's a tooth.
why does my weed look like an owl pellet? I don't understand. There's hair and small bones.
Anyway, I'm going to move on to our last story here before I...
Can I...
I'm sorry, our last video before we move on to our
Before
last
you do
story.
that, do you mind if I piggyback and ask you guys if you're aware of a thing of the they don't, so for environmental reasons, instead of getting cremated, you can get like put into a water chamber that like breaks you and it turns you into goo.
I would love it. And then you can turn into a tree.
And they use that to fertilize.
That just sounds horrifying to me.
That sounds great.
You're dead.
What do you mean you don't? Why did you're fucking dead?
I know I'm dead, but I also, even though I'm dead, I won't be cremated because I don't want to be like a brain with consciousness in the ground.
Is there a chance that goo can turn you into an ent?
A what?
An ent?
I had not considered the possibility.
What's an ent?
The tree people.
The tree people from Lord of the Rings.
Never heard of
Dan.
Never
No,
heard of
I
it.
would so much prefer to
Obviously,
do
Dan's not a
something that's
doctor.
better for the planet, where I get just completely broken down by water versus getting broken down by fire.
And having
Listen,
Dan
I can
and
be
have
a
Dan
tree.
smoke your
I'm going to
ashes.
speak
Yeah.
for the rest of us who
You
know
should have some dank ashes, guys.
dank ashes, but what about
Dank
just being
ashes
a
paste.
paste that you apply to like
A
the
piece of
ground?
Listen,
toast?
dude, Tage would be some great CBD cream.
You gonna be some dank ass paste, yo?
Little bit of Page CBD cream.
A little bit
on
of
your...
topical Page.
You're like,
man.
ooh, a substitute for Vicks Vapor Rub.
I'd be
I
fine.
can breathe
They'd
better.
sell you
I'm
a family video and a little display, like. But you don't think it's freakier?
No.
To be
No.
broken down.
Why?
without one?
You're dead. I don't know
Water
why you care
versus
about your dead
fire?
body.
I don't know. I
If
don't.
they put you in like a jelly squeeze bottle, then it might be weird.
If you're like in a ketchup bottle and they're like, hey, just
yeah.
take me to the
why
four
is
corners of the
being- why
Southwest
is
and put a little
being-
bit there. Go to Alaska, put a little bit there.
Why is being broken down by water more horrifying
Yeah,
than being broken down by
that's a real
fire?
I don't know,
question.
man,
Let's-
because my entire brain has been programmed
Wait,
by
no, I know
like
what it is.
2,000 years of
I know
Western
what it
culture
is.
that says fire is like a purative way
No,
to
I
get
know
rid
what
of
it is.
stuff.
It's
and-
because you can't swim.
Yeah, it's because you can't swim. It's because you don't like water. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Holy
Chris
shit.
doesn't like water.
I hadn't even thought about it, but I think you're right. I think it's
Yeah.
an extension of my hydrophobia.
Yeah.
Which I
Or
also
whatever you
have,
thought.
but I'd rather be
she's
broken
not-
down by water
but
than
she's not
fire.
afraid
Because
of
you're
it.
thinking
Yeah.
logically, you're like,
And you're
better
thinking
for
I'm
the
like,
planet.
even when I'm dead, do not submerge me in water.
I can't do it.
Anyway, moving on to our last video before we get on to our titular story, where the podcast gets its name. I'm going to read this headline, then we're going to roll right into it. Father upset hotel didn't give refund after hosting, quote, swingers. So we're going to play this video.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a video for this one.
Yeah, the video will explain it all.
People had sex in the hotel I was in, and I want a refund.
No, not exactly.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Sacramento's Hilton Doubletree Hotel. Those play spaces, just one of the posted features meant to be alluring enough to get ticket buyers to pay out for what's being billed as the state's biggest swingers party, hosted by Allures. While the hosts are calling it a sexabration for New Year's Eve, one upset father who unwittingly booked a room there for the same night as the party is calling it
kind of a shocker.
shocker, says his father of four who wanted his identity concealed
What is this,
because he got no
B-roll?
warning about an event of
Hold
this
the
type,
microphone to
touting
the cell
almost
phone.
1,000 guests when he pulled out his Hilton card to make his reservation.
People that are spending good money to stay at the Hilton should be aware of what's going on under their nose, especially if they have family. And, you know, there's a hot tub there, and there's crazies in the hot tub.
This dad says,
Crazies.
There's just
but
floating to
when
the
the
top.
majority of a hotel is booked for this kind of event and other potential guests aren't informed,
I'm the point where I don't even want to bring my family into that environment. I think it's totally wrong that the Hilton is putting on something like this.
he also thinks it's totally wrong that after learning from a friend about the swingers party, a friend coming to town for the same family NYE event he planned to attend with his kids, he couldn't get any redress from the hotel.
Pay money and not get a refund pisses me off. They were kind of rude to me. They actually sent me a survey on my phone, like within the last hour, to ask if they helped me out. And I wrote, poor. You did not help me out. You won't give me my money back.
Local hotel reps said they couldn't comment on the situation. Allures has also not responded to our request for comment.
All right, Dan, go back to a close-up of her cell phone.
Oh,
where
well,
she's
describe what's going on. It's gonna load an ad. Just describe what was going on.
Listen, guys. Again, like being the resident media person when I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
I just said okay.
I'm just saying, like, there's a constant lowering of expectation and quality in local media that's happened over the past 20 years to the point where now it's just a woman in a car holding a microphone to her cell phone, like nodding as if she's doing an interview.
Yeah.
Whereas, listen,
So-
you do this thing,
but
it would have cost them 11 cents to have a graphic that they cut to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But more importantly,
And you got her, but hold on. And you got her cell phone case with 1,000 scratches in it. Her overgrown nails that have glittery nail polish just halfway up.
Yeah.
now that
you
but now that we're done insulting this woman for doing,
I'm
her
not
job
insulting
poorly,
her. I'm insulting
Let's
her
get to the
network.
substance of the article.
All right.
What would you do as the only man here, as the resident person with a daughter?
3 of us are men.
No,
here.
no. As the only man here with person here with a daughter. When I say man, I'm talking about like
And you're the only person here with a kid.
You're the only person
All
here
right.
with a kid.
Human.
So parent is what you mean.
Yes.
You're the only parent. You're the only parent in the room. What would you feel if you went to a hotel and they were hosting a swingers party?
What I would do is
Or
not take
swingers
my
con.
kid to the bar anyway, which I wouldn't do.
Or the hot tub?
I would go to our room
Would you let
and
your kid go in
hope
the
that
hot
people
tub?
weren't fucking so loud that we heard it through the walls. And as long as I didn't hear anything through the walls, we would watch a movie and go to bed.
I also just kind of
And
want
I
to
would
know.
never reference it,
this
except to
guy-
friends as a joke.
This guy kept saying we're poor, right? That was one of the things he said.
That he was poor?
Isn't that what he said?
No,
I thought he
that's
was
what,
saying
that's
that's
the
the review.
review.
That's
Yeah,
the
he left the
review.
review.
They called him for a survey.
Okay, I thought he was
Yeah.
talking about that. And it's like, don't stay at the motherfucking Hilton.
Hilton.
No, but for real, if it's the same thing. I go into public all the time with my kid, and you know what I don't do? Join other people's lives. I can do the same thing at this hotel.
Like I would
We
get
don't
it.
have to
I would get it if he
participate.
was there and there are people like banging in the fucking hot tub
Yeah.
or like public areas. Like I would get that. But it sounds like just swingers existed in the same space
But
and he was upset.
They did have the whole room set up for him, though.
But that
With,
was
you know,
probably
the
like a
sexy,
conference room.
The sexy
you can-
couches and everything.
That's a
I'm sure
don't
though
go to
that
the conference room
that
that it's
probably
being
wasn't
held
the
in.
lobby though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But
It
that's
wasn't
what
the
I'm
front
saying.
Yeah.
Which is blowjobs
Like that-
happening in fellatio all
Well, but
around.
that's
know
my
what
point. It's not like they're saying go to your room and go bang as loud as you want. It's like
Yeah.
everybody hang out here and then you can go do whatever.
Do whatever,
You want.
yeah.
Listen, there's already people banging in hotel rooms. That's an accepted.
That's a part
No,
of
it's
it. Yeah.
only if they're married.
True.
Oh yes,
True.
yes.
True,
and,
true.
and wed under the eyes of the Lord.
Yep.
A real marriage.
But here's another thing I would never do is take, and this is where I disagree with my child's mother, is I would never, I don't care if it's like 3 o'clock on a Thursday.
Who you're now divorced from.
My kid is not getting into a hotel hot tub.
Under any
Ever.
circumstance.
for any reason.
I don't
yeah.
even
Listen,
want to.
No,
I don't know
fuck
if
no.
I've
disgusting.
ever
There's nothing but loads and MRSA floating on top of that shit.
Not a good place to be.
I ain't getting in it. My kid ain't getting in
Yeah.
it. The advice I would give my kid is like, hey, maybe avoid the communal areas that breed like
Legionnaire's
bacteria.
disease
Yeah.
happens here.
Unless you have like a full decontamination chamber in your bedroom or something.
Or you had just have your own hot tub and don't let anybody else in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want the hot tub experience.
Like
but
my parents.
public hot tubs are a bad idea.
You could
I agree.
also just get a bathtub with jacuzzi jets and turn the water up hot.
And not go to a public place.
Yep.
Yep.
I have heard though that hot tubs are good for warming up your soup.
Oh, you know what else they're really good for? Urinary tract infections and various things.
Anyway, that's all our videos. That's all our stories. But our last
This is all
one.
this is all a lead in to that the next podcast is going to be from a hot tub.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I
We'll
love that. You
all
hear
be
the
in a hot
bubbles?
tub.
The Hiltons.
The bubbles bubbling up as we talk. That'd be funny.
We're all
as
gonna.
hell.
It's gonna be sponsored by Google Glass. We're all gonna have Google.
Let's go to the
Glass so we
Holiday
can
Inn
see
on
what's happening.
Lindell.
Yep.
Yeah, we can sing that Holiday Inn song.
Yep.
Let's go to the
Holiday Inn.
No, guys, let's go to the Stratford Inn.
The Stratford Inn.
Let's
That's
go to
closed.
the Diamond Inn or whatever it's called.
Anyway, this is our last story of the evening before we get on to our new segment. It sounded like I said news.
Nude.
This is
segment.
where we get our. This is where we get our title for this episode. So, you guys might have heard about this. I don't really like the way the headline's worded, but basically, Burt Ward was told that he had to take penis shrinking pills.
Good for Burt Ward.
For being on Batman,
Robin.
the original TV series.
Oh, I did.
So Burt Ward infamously Robin on Batman. Was it Batman and Robin or just Batman?
Oh, you mean as like a young man?
Yeah. Like when he was on.
I thought you meant recently. Like
No,
they're
no,
like,
no.
he's
Shrink
like,
your dick.
I got sciatic nerve problems because my dick's so big, Doc.
So Burt Ward apparently had such a big dick, right? that they were like, that's too obscene for television. So they wanted him to take dick shrinking pills, which I don't know why nobody commented on this. You ever heard of a thing called a dick shrinking pill?
I would also, so I have heard of this, and I would like to add that Burt Ward is the only one that says this happened. I would like to share that fact.
Well, he also goes on to say that Adam West actually had the opposite problem. And they had to stuff Adam West
now
with
that
tube
Adam
socks.
West is dead and can't defend the size of his junk.
I forgot Adam West is dead, and now I'm sad all over again.
Did you also forget you killed him? This is like the movie Identity with John Cusack.
I have it tattooed across my abdomen.
It's Memento.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you killed Adam West.
Veteran actor and recent Hollywood Walk of Fame star recipient.
Walk of Lames.
I thought you were going for Walk of Wayne's like an old Batman series joke.
Anyway,
the pun they would have had.
Burt Ward, who played Dick Grayson / Robin on the 1966
Recent victim
Batman
of senility,
television
Burt
show,
Ward.
recently revealed that ABC had him take penis shrinking pills early into his tenure as the Boy Wonder. Apparently, the snug-fitting costume worn by Ward's Robin, the sidekick of Adam West Batman on the 60s TV. They really want you to know this is the 60s TV show. Quote, they thought that Robin had a very large bulge for television, the actor said in an interview with Page Six, which is not a very credible news source. As Ward tells it, the issue became such a concern for ABC that the network had to have him go see a doctor who prescribed pills to, quote, shrink me up.
What the fuck?
Ward goes on to explain that he stopped taking the medication almost immediately after starting because he said, I took them for 3 days and then I decided that they could probably prevent me from having children. He said, I stopped doing it and they just used my cape to cover it.
I feel like
My
there's
dick
plenty
grew
of
back.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of bot shots out there of Robin. Like, I don't think his cape is just conveniently.
Let me see if I can Google.
What if he was just
you guys talk
having
while I look
boners
up.
all
You're
the
just
time?
gonna look for dick pics?
And it wasn't like, oh, hey, your flaccid bulge. That he's just hard
always
constantly,
erect.
like a nervous like high school wrestler. You know.
So I just Googled Robin's bulge.
Please,
Is it
I'm not finding
like down his leg?
It looks like he has a vagina.
Well, here's my immediate reaction.
Look at this picture.
He's probably.
Look at this picture.
They probably settled on tucking it.
Them pills worked real good.
Oh yeah, you think they're tucking it?
Well,
like,
here's the thing. I don't even think you need to tuck it because
Look,
think of every
look at
pro
that one.
wrestler. He's
Like,
just
that doesn't look like there's a penis.
just-
there at
That
all.
penis
just
is
wearing
too
layers.
big.
It's vulgar.
This is a 66 penis, which are much smaller than these 2020
Wow.
penises.
I don't know.
It's like
maybe
the weed.
opposite,
Weed's gotten
though.
crazier in 2020, so
Yeah.
have penises.
Penises get bigger and bigger.
Dicks are going to be obscene in the future. Just fucking a whole third.
This explains though why in season 2, episode 7, he turns to him and says, "Grower, not a shower." what does he call him? What, Boy Wonder?
Yeah, Boy Wonder.
Oh my god.
So also, and I've heard this about Burt Ward, he goes on to say, you must understand I never smoked, drank, or did drugs, so I never went to a bar in my entire life. It's not to say I didn't go out and have a good time, but I never went out and did what Hollywood celebrities do. This goes on to explain why he stopped taking it. Like, he basically didn't want
His dick to vanish if you take too
Well,
many.
also,
Yeah, he
I
didn't
think
know
it
what
said
it
he didn't
was.
take anything.
He
They
didn't
gave
really
him-
ta-
they
I
gave
mean,
him
like, he
vanishing
takes
cream.
antibiotics and shit. He's not like an
Medicine.
Oh, I just mean
no,
like
but he's not like a drinker. He doesn't
each
do
pill
drugs.
shrinks at a certain amount, and if you take too many, then
It's gonna
eventually it's just going to be
vanish.
there's
It
nothing.
came in
there.
like a birth control blister pack.
Yeah.
And each one was like quarter inch, half inch, and it got the last one. It was like disappears your dick. And he was like,
Straight
no,
up Ken doll.
it's not worth it. He's like, the SAG minimum isn't worth it.
Which I didn't know that he had been a straight A UCLA student. And he
What's
was
that got to do with his dick?
Well, he was just in the top 3% of his
Damn. That's
in the United
impressive.
States in science
In
and
di-
math,
oh.
and he went on to be Robin.
That pays more
Top
than being a
3%
scientist.
having nothing to do with his penis.
I don't
correct?
think it pays more currently because we saw him at the St. Louis Comic Con.
Well, he didn't develop those other skills. Listen,
Only the dick skills.
back to his definitionless crotch. That I feel like every pro wrestler you ever see, right?
Yep.
Those dudes, chances are some of them got a normal sized dick, but they all look like
and you
they're
know,
wearing.
some of them have got to have a boner. At least one guy
They gotta
out
be
there's
like
got to be getting
strapped,
hard.
Yeah.
right? Like what?
Why
what
didn't
do
they
jock
just?
straps do?
Why didn't they just give him a cup?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what
I think that it's like I think because to me it looks like he's just got like 4 layers of leotards on, and that's gonna just gonna mash it in there.
What if Burt Ward's secret is that he's always semi-hard? Because if I was always semi-flaccid, dude, I'd have a huge dick.
Wait, if you were always semi-flaccid?
Yeah, like at
you mean
first
if you were
appearance,
always
like I would take off my pants and be like, well, that's a giant dick because it's semi-flaccid. What do you not understand, Chris?
I feel like the first time somebody tried to explain negative numbers to me.
It's like a half-hard dick we're talking about.
I
dude.
think that Dan's saying that if he were to take off his pants right now and he knew that he was semi-flaccid, but you thought he was flaccid, you'd think, "Oh my god,
look at that giant dick." God, Becky,
this is
look at
a glass half full situation. When you say
like
semi-flaccid, I would say semi-erect. I would never use the term semi-flaccid. Like,
this is a glass half full.
You're right.
You're either flaccid or not.
I did say what he said, and he didn't. You shouldn't have said semi-flaccid.
Semi-hard.
Semi-hard. I get
but
it.
you're also semi-flaccid at the same time.
Yeah.
Half chub.
Oh, no.
This makes sense because I know I always want to put my most flaccid foot forward. But it's like when you go to the doctor, you work one up, right? You bring a fluffer with you, so you're like, "Hey doc, I didn't want to give the wrong impression." Listen.
Anyway,
so what's the consensus though? Before we move on, is Burt Ward lying?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think
definitely.
You can see his.
Do you know what I think's happening? Do you know what I think's happening?
It's not too big.
You can see you don't see a bulge. You see a little bit of dome poking out.
How old do you guys think Burt Ward is?
Old.
Now?
Not a young man, right?
Now?
I would say 70, probably around 70.
Idea.
He's not a young man.
When did he say this? By the way,
There's probably like
recently.
Recently.
Oh,
Very recently.
I feel like Burt Ward's probably like half remembering the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some line of truth here, but
like
it's
a costume designer was like, "Ooh, we need to strap back this bulge a little bit."
And he's like, "Oh, they made me take pills to shrink my dick."
Yeah.
Or perhaps she was insulted over the size of his member in the past, and now he said, "I got to get out there and tell that person the truth."
Like specifically, like Adam West did an interview in Playboy in the '80s where he was like, "My bat dog was huge."
Yeah. And now he's like, "I had to take pills. Mine was so big, and you had to
That's
stuff."
right. Robin's penis, exactly like a real Robin's penis. That's where the name comes from.
The boy wonder.
So that actually concludes our news segment, but I want to introduce our new segment that I'm calling Google 1-Star Reviews. Yeah, so this is kind of like a little game moment, guys. So I'm going to read a Google 1-Star review, and then you guys are going to try to guess what it's a review of. So
I'm excited. I forgot about this.
Depending on the review, you guys can be more vague. If the review is very specific, I'm going to want you to give like the exact thing it is, and you can ask me for hints. It's not like we're going.
This is for money.
We're all friends here.
It's not like we're going too crazy. But anyway, let me open up our first one here. I'm going to throw it up
a dental
on the
dam.
screen. Here we go.
Okay, I was guessing.
So this is a 1-star review, and it says, "Went in October. All kids under 12 get in free only that month. We loved it. You have to walk a lot, so we wear WARE walking shoes. You can bring your own food from outside the park. The food inside is a bit pricey, but very good."
Six Flags?
1 star.
Oh.
I love how they're like, we enjoyed it. It was a good time. 1 star.
Can you bring
I think
food
they
in
might
Six
not have
Flags?
understood the ranking system.
I don't think so. I
So,
don't think you can.
I'm going to give you guys some clues.
Okay.
It's not local.
Okay.
It is an attraction. And if you guys just name what type of attraction it is, I'll give you the point. So let me know if you want me to read it again.
Can you just leave it up?
Yeah.
There it is. I'll leave it up for you guys.
Where would kids get in for free only in the month of October?
Where would they charge admission, but you can also bring your
This
own
is like
food?
Silver Dollar City or something.
It's
an
outside the
attraction.
park.
It's okay, I'll give you another clue.
Is it an
It's
amusement
free
park?
in St. Louis.
Oh, it's a zoo.
Is it like the Lincoln Park Zoo?
This is the San Diego
San
Zoo.
Diego Zoo.
Wonder why kids can get in free only in October.
But it sounds like a fantastic review, and then it ends with 1 star.
They clearly did not. They didn't know how it worked, right? What that means is there's somebody out there who knows how to spell kinda, who doesn't understand a 1 to 5 rating is the lower is bad.
Yeah. So here's our next 1-star review. This makes a lot more sense. No Yogi Bear, no Yellowstones, no volcanic eruptions. The geyser smelled bad. No service. It was outside. Couldn't pet the animals, mainly because there were none. Traffic bad. Staff extremely rude. 1 out of 5. Don't go here ever. This place
I think
blows.
we can all name this at the same time.
1, 2.
Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Didn't somebody just get attacked by an animal not that long ago at Yellowstone?
So a lot of the animals have the plague right now. Is a problem at
Oh
Yellowstone.
Jesus! What
That's
I love
a big
about this
consistent
place
problem.
is they were like, it was not identical to a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Fuck nature.
There are no Yellowstones here.
But what killed me is they were like, it's outside, and it's like, what
Yeah.
did you want? Did you want it to be
Can't pet
inside
the
a building?
animals. You can't pet that wild bison over
We
there.
had to go to a nature reserve, and it was outside in nature.
So everybody got that one. I would say everybody got the first one. Let's see if anybody can guess this next one.
Can I just say one comment on this?
This is the next one. I haven't even read it yet. So
this one that it was
that I'm about to read.
No, the Yellowstone one.
Okay, sorry.
I thought that this was fake, like an ironic thing at first, until
I think it is.
Until the food is gross and the staff are younger people who are not really paying attention.
That's a different one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Yeah,
the geyser smell bad.
The geyser smell bad.
And they don't
one
have
could have
cell
been-
towers
That one
up.
could have been irony.
Unacceptable.
I'm
It's
sorry. I thought we were still
outside
looking
is
at
No,
what
no, no.
got me.
So
The
this is-
animals clearly need cell service there.
This is our next 1-star review. This place is like going to a casino for kids in a trailer park. The food is gross and the staff are younger folks who are not really paying attention to anything going on. If you take your child here, chances are they will grow up traumatized.
What
Enjoy.
the fuck?
Dave and Buster's.
Close.
Oh,
Chuck E.
shit.
Cheese?
Ding, ding, ding.
That's
This
what I
is a
would
Chuck
think
E.
too.
Cheese in Oklahoma
Yep.
City.
Oh, that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right.
Well,
so,
any parent will tell you go to
point
Chuck
the
E.
page.
Cheese, and you only go there till your kid is a certain age.
Yep.
You know, because your kid reaches a certain age, and up until that age, like $10 gets you an hour to like play on your phone and be left alone. And then they reach a certain point where they're like, look, none of us are enjoying this. These games aren't advanced enough. I'm bored.
Yep.
The pizza fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Let's move along. Anyway, our sponsor today, Chuck E. Cheese.
All right, so here's the next one. This one says, not tall enough to match my bank account level. Also won't let me promote my band. Not very glitz glam. 1-star rating.
Why is it written like a haiku that doesn't match a haiku format?
Not
It's like
tall
it's just
enough?
broken into
Not
4 lines.
tall enough. So what would you think?
Not tall enough to match my
Think
bank account
buildings.
level.
Think
Also,
buildings.
will let me promote
famous
my
buildings.
brand. Not very
Is this
glitzy
the
glam.
Empire State Building?
Ding, ding, ding! This is a review for the Empire State Building. 1 star.
Is this
What
written,
the
Is this
fuck?
written by Kanye West? Like, who wrote this?
Not
No
very-
one man should have all that building.
It's not very glitzy glam.
Not very glitzy
They
glam.
won't let me promote my band. All right, so
Some crazy person with like 1,000 business cards in front. Like,
I think this next one might be a gimme for 2 people here, not you, Connor. I'm sorry.
just
okay.
us
I
ladies.
think I know what it's
It's
going to
okay.
be. I think I already know.
Well, I don't want you to say it.
I think I already know, though.
I can't say if the food is any good or
Yes.
not. When I called to the place to order carryout, the guy told me he just got to his other location and wasn't going to come all the way back just for another order. What's the point of leaving flyers on my door if you're not willing to take orders?
Is this the local pizzeria?
You can
that
say
we're
the
on?
name.
Kevin's Place.
This is a
I
local
know Kevin's
pizzeria
Place.
called Kevin's Place.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the reviews?
Yeah.
They're so
I'm
funny.
surprised
His
there's
cat?
not like a.
My favorite is that there's a stray cat that he lets
Yeah.
in from
Yeah.
outside, that he yells at people while he's trying to do his taxes, that he's the only employee, so if he does deliveries,
So-
he shuts down
So
the
Kevin's Place
restaurant.
is a local pizza place that seems to be run by one man and one man only named
Who is
Kevin.
insane?
Kevin.
Everyone. Kevin
Yeah.
hates
But
everyone.
hold on. In all fairness, it is equally split between people who are like, Kevin is weird
Everybody
and it's
loves
the
the
best
pizza.
food I've ever had.
Yeah.
And people who were like, I don't care the food was good. A cat was like on me. Like a cat walked in from the street and ate some of my food.
Everybody likes the food.
So the
though.
pizza is supposed to actually be good?
Pizza's
Yeah.
supposed to be really good.
All of the, even
Have you ever
though-
had it?
No, I
We
want
should
to
go
try it.
sometime.
We totally
But
should. We should
even the
record it.
1-star
Yeah.
reviews that are like, he berated me, he ignored us to do his taxes, there was a stray cat, they're like, the pizza's phenomenal.
He does not compromise on quality.
Yeah.
That should be Kevin's slogan. I do not care about you, and I do not compromise on quality.
I wonder how he keeps it open.
Yeah.
How many people actually
Because
go
it
there?
moved
They
recently.
closed one.
Oh, really?
He has a new one open, but he closed
I
one
feel like if he
location.
lets you bring in a 12-pack, it's probably worth it. Like, if you can hang out with your friends and wait like 2 hours for a really good pizza and you make an evening out of it, like, that could be like some fun.
And you get berated by Kevin.
Well, it makes you feel like a sense of exclusivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're his only customer at that moment.
I want to go to Kevin's place.
So anyway,
that's what we should have did for my birthday.
This next one, I don't want to give too much of a hint to where you guys are just guessing random things, but I will say it is a famous chef's restaurant. So I'm going to throw out this review. We had burgers. The buns were stale. The burgers were overcooked and dry. I tried the street corn and it was overcooked. Canned corn, drenched in what I think was butter and under-seasoned. The only good thing was the fries. My kids didn't even finish the burgers. Overall, I was extremely disappointed and will not be back. Sorry, I didn't read the first line. I skipped the first line.
Yeah.
Definitely not a trip to Flavortown is the first line.
I think that'd be better restaurant?
Guy Fieri has multiple.
I didn't know he had his own restaurant. I just assumed.
So yeah, you're right.
I like
it's a
his
Guy Fieri restaurant.
I like his barbecue. He's got good barbecue sauce. You can get it.
That's Guy Fieri's Smokehouse. Though.
I like the way he wears the
with that
sunglasses on his neck,
review
on the back of his neck.
Yeah,
it's a good look.
I like the way that he always looks like he's going to die of a heart attack at any
You
second.
guessed it real quick.
And he sounds like a surfing cartoon character.
That was Guy Fieri's Smokehouse, I believe, in Washington.
Did that review say like it made my kids cry? Because it sounded like they said everything but that.
The kids didn't even finish the burgers. Extremely disappointed.
My kids threw up on their plates and we just left it.
Definitely not a trip to Flavortown. All right, and our last 1-star review. I haven't been keeping track of the numbers. I think we're all equally winning here.
We're all winning.
We're all winners.
It's a group effort,
you guys
cooperative game.
I love this game, actually.
This is great.
Fun
game.
It was my... Oh, it just says it right there.
No, that's okay.
It was my very first time going up. And it was my very first time in 59 years of life going up in the arch, and it was honestly mesmerizing. I felt like I was floating on air to look out and see the lights of St. Louis. Was like looking into Las Vegas. I think everybody should visit the arch and all the other beautiful sights in Missouri has to offer, especially St. Louis.
Listen,
hold on.
1 star.
1 star. Also, again, this goes into the category of not understanding how a ranking system works.
Yeah.
And this is somebody's like grandma who
they're 59.
Who
we know
works
that.
at the arch, like something like, oh, Kevin just got a job at the arch. I got to give it a positive review. And they go on there. Anybody who's been up in the arch, it's more like being in a bus that is suspended by a crane that sways just enough to make you feel like you might die.
Weird.
Also,
it is not like being on a cloud.
I like how it's like being on air, looking at St. Louis while also looking at Las Vegas. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I should have blurred out the word the arch.
Yeah.
I didn't know it said the arch in it.
For those of you unfamiliar with the skyline of St. Louis, because it lacks the only definitive feature is the arch. So when you're in the arch looking out, it looks like
you see a baseball stadium.
There's nothing definitive
it looks like
at all.
Tennessee or Cleveland.
There's a baseball stadium in East St. Louis.
Now they should come from the other
Nashville.
side now. They should take all the skyline pictures from the other side now, because you can still see the arch, and then you get the cool Ferris wheel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Well, there's lots of cool any main artery, like even Forest Park or any of those roads that lead in. There's all kinds of cool views you never see.
Yeah.
Like every shot of St. Louis is they're like, we're here for 11 minutes. Let's shoot it from a helicopter.
Yep.
Go. Sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, being in the arch, and you have to take up those little metal
the
coffins.
tiny little pods you thread in with strangers.
It's like a pod that is like
it reminds me of like what is it called? Space Odyssey.
The David Bowie song?
No.
David Bowie song?
That's Space Oddity.
Oh.
Thank you. What's the movie?
Oh, 2001:
called?
A Space Odyssey.
Thank
yeah.
you. It reminds me shit of
Yeah,
that.
it's like literally the size of
It's a space egg.
of a coffin.
Yeah,
That
that's egg shaped.
That you have to get in with.
Squish it.
Yeah, if your family is smaller than 4 people, then you have to be in there with like a guy who's there by himself. And
yeah, it's creepy.
Look, oh, dude, the last time I have to share this. The last time I went to the arch grounds was when my kid was little. Very little, and it was before they redid it and everything recently. And I went into the bathroom, and there was a guy jerking off in the stall.
Oh my fucking
when
god!
I went in there.
Dude, are you serious?
Of all places.
Super obviously, and
Weird.
I was like, I went in there, and I'm like, I stand at the urinal, and I just hear like the rubbing of fabric that's cleaning a person masturbating.
Dude.
And like they slow down. And they stop. And then as soon as I start peeing, they start again. And I'm like, I'm going to get a security person as soon as I leave here.
No.
While I'm going to the bathroom, a security person comes in, looks at the stall, you can tell has determined what's happening, and is just like, I don't want to
Not
know.
my job.
And turns around and leaves.
Fuck it.
And I was just like,
But let me ask you something.
The arch is a
Would you
magical
have given
experience.
Would you have given the arch a 1-star review after that?
No, I don't blame the arch for that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's the gateway to the West.
Anyway,
it's the Jefferson Expansion Memorial is actually what the arch is called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually think that we have more stories on the arch that we're going to continue on with here. But that's going to wrap up our new segment called Google One-Star Reviews.
Fun.
I think we're going to do that again in the future.
I like this.
But the podcast isn't over. We're not done yet. We have to finish off with Connor's Conspiracy Corner.
Oh, shit.
Here we go.
Connor, what do you got for us this week, honey?
We good to go right now?
We're good.
We are going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to do a few conspiracies, but they're going to be much shorter because most of them don't really have much to talk about, but it's just going to be fun to hear from everybody on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, I was trying to get a little bit extra information right now, but there's not much, and it has to do with the arch.
Perfect.
Oh, shit.
So since we just
how coincidental,
we are going to discuss another thing that the arch is known for.
Yep.
And that is controlling the weather.
Oh shit, that's a fact.
Everyone knows
fact.
that.
Yeah, straight up fact.
So Dan, if you want to, I'm sure if you Google arch like weather control or something, I saw a few Reddit links on there that show.
Yeah, the St. Louis subreddit is all about.
Yeah, they show
controlling the
storm
weather.
patterns coming into St. Louis and then splitting in two and going
Which
around
it did not do prior to the building of the arch.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, honestly, like, not even being conspiratorial, what do you think could legitimately maybe cause
it's
that?
this whatever ion effect. I forget what it's called, but the idea is that it. And you're probably better versed, so correct me where I'm wrong.
No, I have a completely bullshit reason.
Oh, okay. Well, like I'm pretty sure the actual reason is because when you have that much of it's either a ferrous or non-ferrous metal. I forget how it works, but whatever that type of metal is, the idea is that it soaks up as much of the positively charged ions that a storm has, that it causes enough of a break to where
makes sense.
Whenever
I think.
Like it's just enough of a break that in order for the storm to build it back up, it gets far enough away to where it just shits all over.
Yeah.
Well, I think it also just has to do with the arch is in the city, and everything around us isn't really city. It has to do with our tall, closely built buildings and everything that helps kind of break
the heat
up
island
storms
effect
and
could play into it also. Where
and
it's
like tornadoes don't strike cities as often.
Except in the 50s, there was a tornado that hit downtown St. Louis, and it used to happen somewhat regularly until
Before
the arch. Yeah.
Also,
it happened in like 40-year intervals, and the arch is from the 60s, so it could just be a coincidence that.
Here's also a picture of what Connor was kind of talking about. You can see the dark green or the lighter green surrounding St. Louis, and then St. Louis is just like a circle that is not affected by the weather.
It happened just the other day during that snowstorm.
Yeah, we had a snowstorm like just 2 weeks ago or something like that, and St. Louis is pretty much untouched by all of it. Let's see if I can find another.
Really didn't get messed up.
Another picture. Yeah, here's a little motion graphic I can throw up. So you can see the storm moving in, and it just kind of dissipates the second it hits St. Louis.
Yep.
You have this big old cluster, and then it just turns into nothing.
So now the real reason that is nothing. Everything you said was nonsense. The real reason is that there is some sort of force field underneath it that they flip on, and it sends out a sort of a pulse.
Clearly,
that just defeats the storm.
And they don't
weather control pulse.
Yeah,
obviously.
And
makes sense.
Somebody that my computer just went to sleep for some reason and now it won't wake up.
Well, your point is clearly evidenced by the fact that New York will get 7 feet of snow. And St. Louis is clearly a more valuable city to all world economies than everything. Than
Absolutely. We got to protect St. Louis.
No, but this guy just says he's a 94-year-old. Now, this was put out in April.
What does Burt Ward have to say about
April 1910?
No, even better. April 1st.
Oh, okay.
It's just about some engineer. There's other articles about this, but this is like the official Gateway Arches joke article on it, which is funny. But says this engineer, I was one of the first people in the design room with Eero when he revealed his actual vision for the arch. We were sworn to secrecy to never reveal the truth.
Oh, shit.
Nazi scientists
built the arch.
Hellboy was there.
It's time for the world to know the underlying reason for the construction of one of the most famous monuments in America. And that's to famously compared it to a light switch, able to direct rain and severe weather away with the flip of a finger.
Why wouldn't we just do this everywhere?
Yeah, and why wouldn't they tell people?
Arches
that'd
are pretty
be fucking great.
inexpensive,
Yeah,
actually.
we could be like, hey.
That's the thing.
That'd be great.
Also,
y'all aren't gonna get hit with horrific storms and damage and everything anymore.
with modern construction, the arch would be cheaper than like any large commercial building. So if it did work, like
just build arches everywhere.
It's irresponsible not to have one in like every major city.
So now that one's just sort of a fun, jokey one, because we do see it a lot around here.
Take it very
it's
seriously.
a very level.
But next we're gonna move on to a little bit darker of one, and I'm gonna try not to keep it too long because it is very dark and hilarious.
Oh no!
I think I know what this is gonna be.
Aborted babies.
I knew it was going to be about babies.
Aborted specifically.
Okay,
They
I'm
are
sorry.
used in foods and legally labeled as artificial flavors or natural flavors.
Hold on,
Why
let
would
me-
they be
let me-
artificial?
listen,
Let me pose a question.
Those two definitions are exactly the opposite.
Let me
meaning.
Shouldn't
pose a
they
question
always
here
be
real quick.
natural flavors?
Let me pose a question here real quick. Chris, what's your favorite type of chip?
Aborted fetus Doritos.
Exactly, Connor. What's the main ingredient
Now
in
this
Doritos?
this comes
Orange
to us.
powder?
This comes to
That's
us
baby
from a website called heiscomingblog.wordpress.com.
How is coming? How is
Now-
coming spelled?
CO.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's a Jesus reference.
You could take that a few
It
ways.
could be either way for Jesus.
It shows a very strange header at the top that says, "Behold, he is coming with the clouds. Are you ready?" And it's got a man blowing a long horn and a lion.
I'll try to pull it up.
For some reason, a lion in the background.
Those are the horns of Jericho. They sound like the Inception block.
Now we've got a few products here, a few things.
Oh, we can buy stuff.
Oh yeah,
That's how you know it's legit.
you can go to the store and get all of these products that have aborted babies in
Buying
them. Okay.
all of them.
Oh, I thought you meant they were selling a detector.
Oh, they
Yeah.
do.
Like,
They sell stuff at the
hold
bottom.
this wand over your chips and find out if there's a baby in it.
They sell
Promoted by
stuff
Alex
at the
Jones.
bottom, but it's mostly just like, get our prophecies here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do have. We'll go over what a very brief. It is mostly completely just
True.
mind-numbingly
True.
nonsense. So they say that a largely horrified public has watched 6 videos on the selling of aborted babies, sacrificed to the
Jesus.
gods of scientific research.
That's what science is all about. They're gods.
The heartless defenders of their the heartless defenders of their dismemberment for profit claim that it contributes to life-saving research. So we've got apparently evidence, as some of the comments say, wonderful data to show that aborted babies are being used for things such as testing flavor enhancers for food companies and creating anti-aging creams. Developing products such
Are they
as
based off that
cosmetics.
South Park episode?
They might be.
No, it's
Where
like
you just get
it's
stem
there's,
cells and rub them on your face.
There's a little bit of science here,
Okay.
Quote unquote.
but
it's like the
but
witch
who
with two
knows?
V's. Like you got to make a baby paste and rub it all over you,
Yeah,
and then you
makes
get to
sense.
be.
developing
Yum.
products such as cosmetics and flavor enhancers are to science as lemon drops and potato chips are to fruits and vegetables.
What?
What does that mean? What does that fucking mean?
Like I
That
said.
was like, did you guys take the ACT or the SAT where you
Yeah.
have to like finish analogies?
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking know what to do with that
Yeah.
one.
Every time you purchase mass-produced processed food from the likes of Kraft, PepsiCo, or Nestle, you're choosing, whether you realize it or not, to feed your family not only genetically engineered poisons and chemical additives, but also various flavoring agents manufactured using the tissue of aborted human babies.
Well, guys, I'm just going to say, I'm going to go on a limb here. I love Kraft. I love Doritos. Aborted babies are fucking
Kraft doesn't make
delicious,
Doritos.
apparently.
Well, I was gonna
No,
say
that was
I'm
one
just
of the brands he listed.
we live in a disposable throwaway society. I'm glad we're just not throwing away these dead babies. I'm glad we're using every part of the buffalo.
Exactly.
Their lives are giving us
I see no
sustenance for the
downside.
future.
Yeah, true.
Delicious,
So,
delicious sustenance.
It's probably what makes Doritos literally
Addicting?
physically addicting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
It's all the
scientific.
It's all the
baby
fetus
It's all the
powder.
baby powder.
It makes sense.
Literal baby
Baby
powder.
brain powder.
Makes sense.
So, this was posted in 2015. So it
Lots
says
changed since
3
then, my
years
friend.
ago, which means 2012, this woman, Debbie Vinage, founder and executive director of Children of God for Life, a foundation dedicated to educating the public on pro-life issues, called for a boycott
They
of
shouldn't
companies
be allowed to use the word
that use
education.
this specific flavor enhancer called Senomix, I'm assuming, Senomyx, because they were developed using fetal tissue.
Oh.
Cenomix's website boasts that their flavor enhancers are a healthier way to live, and that they have discovered novel flavor ingredients that boost taste sensations. So, it's got a little fact check here. It says, it's true, a company based out of California known as Cenomix is in the business of using aborted embryonic cells to test fake flavoring chemicals, both savory and sweet.
What is this fact
sure
check
that's
from?
illegal.
Is it provided from the
No,
Children
it's just,
of God people?
it's their own fact check.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah,
All right.
this is
So
true.
super legit.
What's
Yeah,
funny is it's like,
definitely.
hey, we somehow turn babies into powder that tests flavor instead of feeding it to people who can tell us what it tastes like.
Yep.
Yep, makes sense.
So they discovered key receptors that mediate taste in humans, okay? So they said that they used human embryonic kidney cells called HEK293 from an aborted baby in product testing. The name HEK293 means it came from the 293rd experiment, after 292 other experiments.
Okay, sure.
It felt the actual need to clarify that 293 came after 292,
Just
which I
in
find
case.
pretty funny.
Really, that's not that many.
Look at their audience. Okay,
She discovered
sometimes you
this.
gotta explain numbers.
She discovered this situation after a pro-life consumer reported it to her. HEK293 is an aborted human fetal cell line used in Cenomix, is manipulated to evaluate how the human palate will react to synthetic flavors used in the production of processed food. So they do this shit apparently, according to these people. But I have a very interesting list. I'm not going to go any deeper into this because
yeah, that's
it is
fair.
it is fucking
It's obviously bad
dumb.
shit and unreal, yeah.
It is fucking dumb. But
Yep.
but I just wanted to let you know. Oh, look at that.
Oreos
Urban
are
chestnut.
on the list, aren't they?
Is Urban Chestnut on there? I was gonna say.
I'll tell you what, these fetuses taste delicious.
Fucking
all of
delicious.
Pepsi beverages, Nestle products, including all coffee creamers.
Yeah, when I
Oreos.
quickly Googled this, Pepsi
Right?
was the first
Nestle's
thing that I
are an
saw.
Oreo product.
Kraft
or Oreos are a Nestle product.
Kraft and Cadbury Adams products, mostly chewing gum, chiclets, Dentine, Stride, Trident, things like
Oh,
that.
every gum has
So-
baby in it.
Yep,
So
makes sense.
most of the Kraft Cadbury Adams gums have that. Other Cadbury Adams, Swedish Fish. I just had some of those the other day.
Oh
babies.
no! How did they taste?
Great.
Exactly.
They taste like your grandma's gummy bears.
Some beauty
Fetuses
products.
are delicious.
A whole list of vaccines and other medicines. And then it's got in the faithful service of Jesus Christ. Do you know where you will spend
Our
eternity?
communion wafers.
And then
Are
it's
the
just
aborted fetuses?
fellowship with us on Facebook at he is coming. Are you
Is he
ready?
coming?
I
Is
swear
he?
to God, we
Is he?
need
I don't know.
just-
Watch his face.
we need to make
Is he tilting his
a
head back?
parody website that's
Closing his eyes?
the
It
same
might be
title
coming.
but
Now,
CUMMI.
I do before we wrap up this one. I want to read a few of the comments, okay?
Okay.
Because they are
Please, yeah.
they
Please
are
do.
pretty funny. Thank you for the comprehensive data and videos. There are no videos on this article, by the way. I've looked up and down all over it, and there are no videos.
You know, the description that they provide is just so detailed that they saw
They feel
it.
like
I
they
like
saw
that
it,
they
yeah.
do their own fact checking too.
Yeah.
That makes me feel very trustworthy.
Someone named Shadrach Muchua said, "We are living in the prophesied times."
What does that fucking mean? What does any of this mean?
Somebody
in these
named Save
statements?
Moxie said, "God help us. We are living in dangerous day. We lift up our eyes to hills where cometh our help."
All right. ...
All
That
of
person
that,
has women in their basement.
all of that
Definitely.
in caps.
And their vote counts as much as yours.
Yep.
Jesus, the world really has gone mad.
Doritos are great
Jesus.
though.
Babies and Doritos. God,
This is why they
back to
have
corn chips.
This is why they have Planned Parenting. They need more fetus to put in their products.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Unplanned pregnancy
I'm
makes
just-
so much more sense for that
I'm
than
just-
planned pregnancy.
Just reading what Sandy Smalls comment. She
humanity is
commented on this.
dumb.
That does. She commented on this today.
Oh.
Wait, today?
January 26, 2020 at 7
Oh, no.
at 7:51
Oh,
p.m.,
no.
which means she's
Oh, no.
probably in a different time zone, but
Yep, she's in the future.
this is why they have Planned Parenting. They need more fetus. Fetus is capitalized.
How does that make any sense?
They
if
need
you
more
plan your
fetus.
it just
birth-
says
You know what every business thrives on?
they're
Fetus.
turning people
No,
into
a
cannibals.
completely unpredictable supply chain. Like,
Jesus.
Anyway,
fucking
so
Christ.
that's all on that one.
That's what. No, but
That's
what,
all on the aborted
that's what that
fetus
last thing was
additives.
getting at. Is she was saying you need. This is how crazy people's minds work. She's like, you need to plan your abortions because it's a business that needs it as a commodity. So if you don't plan for your abortions, you won't have enough to make Doritos.
Yep.
So
I should be a psychologist.
So be careful.
Doritos are delicious.
They really
Therefore, fetuses are
Here's the real.
delicious.
So when I was in high school, right, I was a vegetarian for a while, guys. I don't
You were
know.
a veterinarian in high school?
No, I was a vegetarian for a few years. Listened to
Same here.
to thrash music and punk rock, and was very into things. I had a friend who was a vegan, and we had one of our reoccurring conversations was if you found out that like a food you like is totally like ethically sourced, but like the machinery that makes it is like lubricated by the fat of baby seals or something. Like, where is the line?
Where do you
know what I
stop?
mean?
Like if you
where do
can
draw the
ethically
line?
source baby fetuses, I'll eat
Yeah.
the shit out of those little fuckers.
Yeah. Like, did the fetus consent to being Dorito powder?
Don't even. Okay, Connor, what's your next? your next.
So, the final one now. If you
Final
want
short
to,
conspiracy?
you
Which video do you want me to play? There's.
Are you on the link that I sent
Yeah.
you? Just do the. Isn't there like a?
I have a.
Isn't there like a preview one or something like that? Yeah. Just click that one and play
So
a little
this
bit
is from
of it.
the Travel Channel.
up right now?
We're
Give me a
just.
second.
I just play the audio.
Yeah, let's just play the audio
Okay.
just to be safe for copyright
Yeah.
reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't really show much
The
that you really need to
BBC
see.
was quick to copyright strike me.
Oh
though,
yeah.
so.
Well, those anything news wise.
Also,
the
it's-
local news is better than the like major publications. but
Also,
yeah.
it's just an intro, so it just shows a lot of like stupid ghost adventures, what they consider horror.
Don't
Yeah,
spoil
so this-
it. Let's go.
This is from Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures.
Hey everyone, it's Zach from Ghost Adventures, and right now I am in a very, very scary house.
That was convincing.
It was inside this home in Oklahoma
Is this Zach
City,
Baggins?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think
Look
at
a
him.
man
Oh, no.
named
Oh, shit.
Darren
Oh no.
was using an Ouija board like this to contact a demon named, I don't even like to say the name, but it begins with a Z. After he began conjuring this demon up with this board in this house, it was right here where he saw his daughter be lifted up by an unseen force while she was screaming
Why
and
is your
kicking
daughter hanging
and
out while you're
taken down
summoning
into the
demons?
basement where this entity threw her underneath the staircase. This was just one of many traumatizing
Holy shit.
events that plagued Darren, his wife Kathleen. That was in absolute tears moments ago when
The
we
B-roll
interviewed
for this,
her.
I wish people
But
could
it
That
is
was
our
just
job
her at
to
a bar
come
really,
here
really
and
sweaty.
use this board once again with the help of Darren. It was
Darren.
a very big decision on their part, and it was a very difficult decision to take
Is he
part
winging it as he
in an
goes?
investigation to conjure up this
There ain't no
demon
script.
with this board.
This is like pro wrestling
Darren.
levels of acting.
do
that
this?
he's
Why
able
is
to do.
everybody so sweaty in this?
Because they shot
is a
this in
reenact-
August in the
This
South
is
in
one
one
lockdown.
night.
This is a reenactment
You
that was just playing.
will
No,
not
that's
wanna
footage
miss.
from the interview that they.
Oh,
You
okay.
see that in the actual episode.
All right, so tell us about Zozo.
So that's the introduction.
So,
to
um,
Wait, that was a
demon with
commercial?
his. Sorry, that's the introduction
Another
to the
one might
demon
play.
named Z.
Just close the tab. We don't need any more.
God, wait, that was the least effective advertising I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. It was like a 2-minute commercial for a guy making shit up.
So now I've watched that episode a few times.
Maybe it was super effective then.
It is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I can't tell cause like you never really know, you know? The chances are about 99% that everything that they do on those shows is bullshit.
100% bullshit.
But
100% bullshit.
maybe these people actually really do believe that something happened to them, you know?
So I just want to go back to that because that's one of the things that bugged me in the preview. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in spirits, the paranormal. None of that do I believe in. So this might be a little biased on my part. But if you legitimately believe in that, and you think that you are going to communicate with a demon through an Ouija board, why do you have your 4-year-old fucking daughter in the room with you?
That's the thing.
You're a shitbag parent.
I agree with you, but he didn't know in the way he tells it. None of the people that have encountered this Zozo are aware that they're talking to a demon. until it's too late.
But
That's
they
what
believe in
say.
the spirits and the
Yeah.
communication,
Isn't that the
right?
name of a
so
Led
then you were
Zeppelin
a
album?
bad parent.
Oh yeah, yeah,
To
yeah.
back up a little bit, to be fair, they didn't even say the name of the demon in the video.
It starts with a Z.
Yeah, they
and then
flashed
they
it up
write
on
it
the screen.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Because he claims to be
Nobody
too
saw that.
afraid. So basically, you got this dude Darren Evans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is pretty funny looking, but that's not the point.
He looks like the Donnie Baker
Now,
character
he's-
from the internet. I'm Donnie Baker.
He loves playing with Ouija boards, despite the fact that they're toys for children.
Created by Milton Bradley
probably-
in the early 1900s
yeah.
and
And
have
now
no
look.
spiritual connection whatsoever.
I don't believe in this stuff either.
Yeah.
I'd like to think
Blasphemer.
that I'd like to. That's why I booked a night at Lemp Mansion in a few weeks. I
Yeah.
want some
You have to tell me
want
what
some
it is.
ghosts to come get me. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
Reach out and tickle at you.
I don't want to play with a Ouija board, mostly because it's a proven scientific effect that it's just the muscle
It's
movement.
literally made by a
that's-
board game company
Yeah, it's
in the
made by
early
a toy
1900s.
manufacturer.
It's subconscious. It's subconscious effects from your muscles, and you can't feel them moving, and you move it to whatever your brain
Or it's like
wants you to.
one of your friends just like
Yeah.
move out of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
Well,
fuck
it'd
face.
be like the modern day equivalent of like fucking Valve or something coming out with a like
Yeah.
talk to ghost
Yeah.
board, and it's like okay,
Talk to
sure.
Ghost
Now-
video game.
And you know Ouija boards are fake when you can download them as apps on your phone.
Well, we all agree though that Magic 8 Balls are the only.
Kind of like
way
I know
that
birds
you
are
should
fake
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I can
yeah.
download Angry
Obviously.
Birds on my
Yeah,
phone.
and the government created birds, but that's
Obviously.
beside the point.
And hats.
So, but the interesting thing about this story is you heard he had supposedly had some bad shit happen
He had
to
a
him.
daughter
His
under the stairs and went ah.
daughter dragged downstairs. He
Yep.
was supposedly possessed. Somebody in his family apparently went blind for a whole hour and then was not blind
a whole
anymore.
hour.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, tough.
That sounds like you're trying to make up
terrifying.
like some. Well, my uncle went blind for
this
like
is-
49 minutes. No, 1 hour.
Now, this
a
is
whole
all-
hour.
This is all in the episode. You can go watch that episode for free on Travel Channel. If you want a good laugh, I would absolutely put it on. Because at one point, his wife, by the way, who okay, so they get Darren upstairs and they say let's do another session. And this is the clip that I played for you earlier. He goes, I don't know, Zach, I haven't done a real session in 10 years, but I trust you, so let's do it. They sit down at the Ouija board and they start communicating with him. And with Zozo, and it does what he calls the rainbow effect, where O's on this side of the board, Z's on this side of the board, and it keeps going back and forth. And then the Ghost Adventures, people are like, "Oh my God, it spelled out Zozo with 20 letters. If you put a 2 and a 0 next to each other, it looks like Zoe."
What
It's like, wow, yeah.
It's like Twitch TTS.
Yeah. So basically,
Oh,
the funny part is that at a certain part of the episode, while they're playing with the Ouija board, the wife just starts making weird, like, upset, like, grunting noises, and then just gets up and leaves and says, I can't be in this house anymore. Nobody thinks anything of it, They're just like, okay, just go outside, get some fresh air, blah, blah, blah. Because if they truly do believe something
freak her
happened
out,
to them,
yeah.
it could freak you out, you
Yeah.
know? So she goes outside and they continue with this, and then all of a sudden they hear a door slam downstairs. And it's her, and she comes back inside, and they're like, oh my God, who is that? And the other camera shows the staircase, and she's like, it's Kathleen, but she sounds a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the Ghost Adventure guys is like, that doesn't sound like her, dude. Like, what's going on here? She comes upstairs, and she has no shoes, and her belt's undone. And she just starts
She's
saying,
got a BJ.
She starts saying weird shit, like just nonsense, just gibberish. And then she sits down, and then she starts making weird, like not cackling, but weird, like just noises similar to that. Then she starts saying "mama" over and over again.
I just want to interject here really quick, guys. If this ever happens with me, even if we're playing with the Ouija boards, even if
We
there's
will
demons,
put you down.
Yeah, I'll
no,
shoot you in the face.
assume that I'm
Paige,
having a
hey,
stroke
yeah,
currently,
Paige,
and
don't
please
worry.
take me to
Don't
a
worry.
hospital.
I'll be the first person to shoot you
So-
in the face.
Take me to a hospital first.
Now the whole
Let me
point.
shoot you first.
We
and I'll
will-
take you
we
to the
will-
hospital.
None of this really. This doesn't. If you want to see that, go watch the episode. That's not what we're here for. We're here for
On
just
Travel Channel.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
Zach
definitely,
Baggins, 9 p.m.
It's definitely
Travel
worth a
Channel.
laugh. So now we're here. I'll quickly go over the history now, because the interesting thing about this is with Ouija boards, they say it's all that subconscious muscle movement, and it spells out basically whatever your subconscious wants it to,
Right.
stuff like that. But there are tons and tons of people all across the interwebs that are consistently reporting that they've made contact with this demon. So either every single one of them is lying, and we're assuming that they all don't know about this, because this is over the years. Like, I think it's more common now, and people know about this supposed demon now. But they've gone back and they've done research about the origins of its name, and there's not, like, too much about exactly what it relates to, you know, but a lot of it has to do with Pazuzu, which is...
I was just going to say, I am Pazuzu, but I didn't want to step on your line.
No, you're exactly
I do
right.
enough of that.
Also,
I should have. It would have been perfectly timed.
Also, some, like, ancient voodoo people and pagan gods and African mythology gods and things like that, and demons and whatnot.
Isn't it convenient that it all comes back to a cultural reference to a movie that is popular and everybody knows everything?
Yep. Exactly. Now,
I was going to say, what do the Catholics say about this? Because they've, like, named every demon
They
to
say, hey,
exist,
what keeps you
according
coming to
them.
church? There's demons if you go to church.
I want to ask the Catholics. They're the ones that do, like, exorcisms and shit and name all the
speak,
demons.
much like the Lorax.
Yeah.
I'm the Catholic version of that. I speak for all the Catholics.
Exactly.
there's also talk that he could be perhaps King Payman from Hereditary.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hereditary,
We've seen Hereditary
under a different name.
Yeah.
There's also people saying that it's just a nobody demon that's making people think that he's
low
Zozo.
level paper pusher demon.
Just a mailroom clerk of
Zozo.
a demon out there,
But
like trying
now-
to amp up his name.
Now, the thing that intrigues me is, assuming this demon's fake, because he almost certainly is, right?
100%.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can never truly say 100%
No,
with stuff
we can
like that.
truly say 100%.
Is there life on Mars? You
I
don't know.
would say 100%,
I'm
but
going to
in the
say
interest of
100%.
being impartial, you know?
I will not be impartial. Ghosts aren't real. Demons aren't real. This 100% does not exist.
Until you get possessed.
All right, go ahead now. I'll make the statement for
Maybe
us.
you're already
What
possessed.
happens when you get possessed? Or, ooh.
Yeah, that's why she's denying so
Already
hard.
possessed and trying to throw us off the scent?
Exactly.
I think you are...
She's poltergeisted.
Yeah.
Fuck mental
Now-
illness. Let's break
I just
people with
wanna-
You're obviously under the
Catholicism.
influence of Zozo, Pazuzu, Satan, Mariah Carey,
Slash
and every
Steve
other
in the
demon.
mail- slash Steve
Every
in the
other demon
mailroom.
that's ever existed. Yeah, mailroom demon.
I just want to...
Greg.
There's not too much more on this, but I just want to end it with the discussion of assuming that all of these people are just lying, right?
Or crazy.
Or mentally ill.
There's a few options. I'm talking about all the people that have reported making contact with this, like the random people that he's got a website, Darren Evans, called the Zozoologist or something.
Oh, jeez.
And he like basically shares all the emails that he's gotten of people that claim that, you know, or all the stories he finds online of people that claim they've hung out with Zozo the demon or whatever. But now you could assume that they're all lying and they're just all contributing to the sort of almost
Mass
creepypasta
hysteria.
nature of it, you know. But let's just pretend for a second that they aren't lying and they actually all do believe that they contacted this demon. But at the same time, realizing that this demon isn't real. Is it some sort of mass, almost like psychological effect that's taking place?
I will say that
without anybody knowing?
It's out there. It's on the internet. People
Yeah.
have heard it. So I don't think it's that, like, nobody has ever heard of it. Also, it's Zozo. It's a very simple two-part name.
Mhm.
Anyone can come
Right.
up with that. Like, it's
But
not
that's
very
what I'm
unique.
saying. It's almost sort of like a collective subconscious.
It's not like everyone's coming up with Quetzalcoatl on their
Yeah,
fucking own.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's Zozo.
and I think that ties in exactly with how Ouija boards work.
It's also very
You know?
similar to a Led Zeppelin album.
Which makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
a little bit has to do with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
too.
Zozo
Yeah.
is so I can maybe shed a little bit of light on this as I Am Haunted. Did you
By
guys know
Zozo?
this?
Play that one song backwards, though.
But no, so you guys are familiar with night terrors, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a night terror guy.
Mhm.
I've had night terrors.
You're also a hypochondriac.
I am, but I've had night terrors, and they're directly linked to how much anxiety I have at the time. And so in periods of low anxiety, I don't have any. And then, like, if I got a lot of shit going on at work, I have them. And what I've discovered is, like, they were always, like, one type of thing. And then as you meet people who describe their night terrors to you, you then also start to have their night terrors.
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer for that movie about night terrors.
The
and then
Netflix thing.
And then I had some of those, and I'm like, I'm not watching that fucking movie.
Yeah.
But people went
It
from...
gets into people's minds
Yeah.
when they hear about it. Yeah.
And people used to think that, like, before alien abduction stuff, people were like, ooh, witches are like the witch writing thing, you know? And so the concept of aliens didn't exist, but the concept of witches did. So they're like, at night, witches are coming and sitting on my chest and making me feel really anxious. And then I wake up sweaty and it's 1650 and I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the idea aliens come along and people are like, witches are dumb, but aliens might be out there. And all of a sudden aliens are abducting people. And it's whatever that hive mind mentality is.
Whatever gets into like the collective subconscious.
And we can't pretend that the internet doesn't exist and that people haven't heard about this. You know, it's not like we are completely
And that's the thing
separated.
is that it could potentially. It's not. I'm not trying to say that they're out there. Oh, let's go pretend that Zozo followed us and write this guy an email.
And I can understand
I'm saying
that they
maybe they
legitimately
saw it.
believe this,
Yeah,
but yeah,
or maybe they saw it in passing somewhere on the internet.
Even if they didn't, I still stand by Zozo is very
Yeah.
simple to come up
Oh,
with
yeah.
on your fucking own.
Yeah.
I've called my dog that.
Well,
Like,
it is a thing that's already in the zeitgeist, and as a person who starting, I had night terrors as a little kid. I occasionally have them now. I have them less, and the more I've understood them, the less I have them.
Yeah.
But like when you have them, it's really fucking terrifying and freaky.
Yeah.
And like when you have them, it looks like your surroundings in your room or wherever look 100%.
Yeah,
like the way they look.
No, absolutely,
And,
and that's why they think they contribute to like alien abduction stories and things like that.
So I could see how you would have that and be like, whatever. If you don't understand that phenomena, you would be like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah.
But listen, I got like a shitty, weird 140-year-old house. If I saw a ghost in that motherfucker, I don't care that I live there for free. I'm going to go rent somewhere.
I'm
Anywhere
out.
else.
Yeah, I'm fucking out.
Like the fact that Joe Bob Briggs' cousin here is like still living there with his daughter after this.
I've always
kind of
stood by it too. And so many of these ghost stories, they're like, it's alarming, and it's like, fuck off. I don't give a shit. Make noises all you goddamn want. You're a fucking dead ass ghost. I'm
Yeah,
staying
like,
in
what
this
are you gonna
beautiful
do?
But if
fucking
somebody
house.
starts grabbing me by my ankle and dragging me.
If I live in a beautiful
know
ass
about that.
mansion for cheap as fuck, because some people like got murdered there forever ago and they're haunting
No,
me.
but I'm saying
that doesn't happen in
Do
movies.
all the spooky ass shit you
unlike-
want.
if you're
I'm
Darren
gonna
Evans,
live in a mansion
That's in
house.
movies.
Yeah.
If you're
you
Darren
don't
Evans'
actually
little
get that.
girl and that actually did happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd
it
be
didn't.
different. But they never,
it
like,
didn't.
most
but
of the time they don't interact in
Yeah.
these stories.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
"Hey, they sat at the edge of my bed. And it's like, cool, fucking creep on me all you want, ghost. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
And also, I also stand by, it bugs me that there's all these ghosts are like Victorian era or like
Yep.
older, and it's never like, it's Brittany, bitch, as a fucking ghost. Why are there no modern ghosts?
I died in 1997 and I'm pissed.
Where the fuck
I
is
say,
this?
dude.
Hold on.
Why don't I
I'm gonna
hear
make
them
a
singing
super
in
relevant
sync in the
reference.
background?
Where the fuck is my Kobe Bryant ghost?
Oh, no.
That's super
The
relevant and
day
happened
of.
within hours of this podcast.
day of.
Rip Kobe Bryant. Anyway, guys, I think that's where we're going to wrap up the podcast, right,
That's all we
Connor?
got.
That's all your mini
It's all we got.
conspiracies?
Yep.
That's good.
There aren't many good long ones out there.
Yeah. Well,
Or
we'll
they're ones that are obscenely long.
There will definitely have another good story next
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Whether it's mini stories or long stories.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, last week we talked about dinosaurs building the pyramids, and we have merchandise out there now. We're wearing it right now. Me and Paige are. We got our Dinosaurs Built the Pyramid shirts on. You can
They're
find
great.
those at
They look fantastic.
merch.danpearbig.com. We got
Oh, and there's no
t-shirts,
great
tank
green
tops,
screen so you can
hoodies.
see the stickers.
Flaunt 'em.
Yeah, we're showing the stickers on screen here. Merch.danpearbig.com. For a limited time only, you can use promo code DINO5 for 5% off your order. We got Dead Chip shirts as well from our Donald Marshall 3-parter that we did, which was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, we will be here next month as well. I appreciate everybody hanging out, listening. Guys, like, subscribe, whatever you have to do on whatever app you're listening to us on to make sure you get notified of latest episodes. We do this once a month. It is always hosted by myself. Sitting next to me, we got Paige Eckstein.
Paige Eckstein. I'm not quite heroes on all social media, but I don't know how Twitter works for find me on stuff that's not Twitter.
Just add her. Just find Not Quite
Find me
Heroes
on stuff.
On stuff.
I don't know
Connor,
how Twitter works, though.
what about you, buddy?
The Lord Otter on Twitter, on Twitch, and that's about it.
You're the Lord Otter Games on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'll specify
I am.
for
You're
you.
correct. You're correct. I always forget.
Chris, what do you have to plug, baby?
I'm Chris Bruemmer, and I'm just me.
I'm Chris Bruemmer in real life.
I'm me in real life. I'm me on the internet, and prepare. I'm preparing for world domination.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be super famous in like 1 to
19 years. Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Fair.
You guys can
Keep
find
an eye out, kids.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Twitch,
All the things.
Look up DanPearBig, YouTube. DanPearBig.
You'll find us.
The podcast is posted to my DanPearBig channel. We got clips from the podcast on there, video from the podcast on there. In case you're listening, you want to view it, you can do so at my YouTube. Just type in DanPearBig on twitch.tv/DanPearBig. And on Twitter, I am at DanPearBig.
That's it, man.
That's it, man. Guys, we'll be joining you next month for the same thing. News Roundtable, followed by Google 1-star reviews. And then we'll end it with the Conspiracy Corner.
It's Boski.
I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and that's where we're going to wrap it up.
Bye, guys.
I'm waiting for you. And oh, how I miss you when night begins to fall.